last week here at Victoria Park was actually pretty good, despite the poor conditions here last week. And so as time goes on, I suppose hopefully the weather gets better. But if we expect more rain, I don't think you'll get much of a crowd. No, so.
Yeah, indeed. And plus as well, we do remember for the Melbourne fans that do support the KC Demons, we don't expect a heck of a lot of them here today, because this game will finish at 12 PM, and then, yes, you can technically make it traffic-wise, but I think the rain would have turned them off, because they've got that game at Casey Fields at 3 PM in the AFLW today against the Brisbane Lions. That, if crowds are still permitted to that game. As of this moment, we believe they are, but of course, if you are a Queenslander or you've spent time in the Brisbane area and you've been there since March 12th and you've just come down to Victoria, as the advice from the health department is, you have to self-isolate, get a test, and then, you're not allowed out, essentially, until you get the all clear from the test.
Incredible scenes last night in the AFL men's, how there was an alert at GMHBA Stadium saying, if you come from Brisbane, this was about half an hour before the game, or even 10-15 minutes before, you can't be here. And so you had, I don't know, quite a few Brisbane fans leave, but at the same time,
and some commentators
saw the commentators leave as well. There was Luke Hodge,
Wayne Carey
as well, and so there's been a few jokes around that Tom Brown subbed in as the medical sub, the first media medical sub for there to be in the AFL this year, which. But extraordinary circumstances. It's certainly been a mad scramble in the world of sport, especially today, considering there's a cricket game over at Junction Oval set to go in about half an hour or so between Victoria Women and the Queensland Fire. They just came over, and they had to get tested last night, and luckily everything's all clear and the game can go along. So it's a pretty mad scramble if you're a Queenslander.
And for the Brisbane Lions AFLW players, I saw photos online where they had the quote-unquote captain's run, which was essentially stretchers in the hallway of the hotel, because that's where they were allowed to stay while they got their test, to make sure they had the all clear to be able to go down and play at Casey Fields this afternoon.
Yeah, usually you have a crowd at the captain's run final training session, but there's no room for a crowd in a hotel hallway.
It does throw up, though, a tricky proposition for the AFL. If the Brisbane Lions do win against Melbourne, it buys them some breathing space, because if Brisbane win, that gives them a week off. However, if Brisbane lose to Melbourne, and depending on how the results go, if Brisbane slip to, say, 3rd or 4th, where they have the right to host a home final, what do they do, considering that obviously you've got now orange zone, which means you've got to isolate and test for people from Queensland coming down to Victoria? Do the Brisbane Lions, if they lose, have to stay here? Do they still host the home final? Do they have to go elsewhere? Because if they host a home final, let's say it's against the Kangaroos, let's say, for example, and the Roos go up, can the Roos come back home? Hopefully it'll be like that per lockdown, where it's just 5 days. But there'll be no doubt that the Lions lose today and their 3rd or 4th and have to host a final next week. The AFL might be, this is TBC until about Thursday. It's a very tricky situation.
So the Victorian government granted the Brisbane Lions men an exemption under their measures that they took yesterday, because the AFL has COVID-safe measures in place that they have actually been adhering to. So my assumption is the game would still go ahead if they were to host a final. It's just a matter of whether or not they would have crowds, but I think they could go into that bubble type mentality and go on from there and just play it safe, I suppose. Testing is obviously an important factor, and I'm pretty sure it'll work out pretty good for everybody involved.
Yeah, it is a very tricky situation at the moment, like COVID is. All it is everyone just wants to make sure that a grand final gets played. unlike last year after the finals ended after week 1, after the season ended early after the 6th round. Collingwood and the Casey Demons today. Peter Holden and John O'Ben with you on WARFradio.com. We have a 10 a.m. bounce down just for both sides from last week for the Pies. They did defeat Hawthorn here 3-10-28 to 2-1-13. The better players out of that game were Shevlin for Collingwood. It's going back up to VFLW level. Neil Ferguson, Velado, Bunker and Maloney. Those other players that I mentioned, of course, will be running around today for the Pies, so it's good to see, John, that they've retained that core of players as they take on this important game against the Casey Demons today. Yeah, they certainly, I guess, dominated in that aspect with the amount of VFLW players they had in the side last week against the Hawks, and I suppose that'll work probably in their favour again today. For the Casey Demons last week, they beat the Southern Saints 6-6-42 to 2-5-17. Neve McAvoy, who we spoke about, the AFLW listed player, the Irish woman, kicked 2 goals last week and was named best on ground. She is in the side today, along with Emma Humphreys, West, Conroy and Johnson were all named to the best. The only player missing that was in their best is Fallows. So again, they're retaining most of the core of their squad as well. So it's 2 teams with their cores of their squad going hammer and tongs for a top 4 spot with a week off after today. Yeah, this game is going to be an absolute cracker because of a certain set of circumstances that you have mentioned this morning, Peter, and I tell you what, yeah, I'm looking very much forward to it. Glad I was able to be a late inclusion for this one. It's set to be an epic. Other games that are on today in the VFLW, for those that have just joined us, also starting at 10 a.m. is the Southern Saints and Darebin. That is down at Sandringham's home ground, Trevor Barker Beach Oval. At 2 o'clock, there's 2 games this afternoon. There's Carlton versus Hawthorn down there at Icon Park. And at 2 p.m, we'll be on air from roughly 1 p.m, the Western Bulldogs and Geelong. That is part of our doubleheader. That will also be a VFLW YouTube stream game. And then on Sunday, there's 2 games. Both of them will be on YouTube, and on WARFradio.com we'll be covering one of them, and that is the Essendon-Port Melbourne game. We'll be on air at 9:30 a.m. for a 10:30 a.m. bounce there at the Hangar. That is 4th versus 1st. Yours truly, Brent Sternberg and Alex Doherty will be calling that game. And then at 12 p.m, yourself, Jono, you'll be calling, hopefully alongside Elise Collette, otherwise he'll be solo, North Melbourne and Williamstown at Arden Street Oval. Yeah, looking forward to that game for sure. It'd be nice to have Elise. She's, yeah, it's fair to say we've been looking forward to this. She is a good friend of mine within the footy club fold down at the Eastern Devils, so it's good to work together on a game, and hopefully that's going to be a good game, and hopefully the conditions are slightly more favourable. Yeah, absolutely, at Arden Street Oval. I will tell you though, you'll be up in the broadcast box. That's the way. So it'll be slightly warmer conditions than today. I mean, the temperature on the thermo. Yeah, today it's meant to be 20 degrees. I can tell you've got a jumper on there, and there's also just a slight hint of a cool breeze that is blowing across the ground. Both sides are currently out there on the park at the moment doing their warm-ups. The Casey Demons down at the Sharon end of the ground, while to the left of your radio dial, the Collingwood Magpies. We apologise, we didn't hear back from Tamara Heights. We're unable to get her interview, but of course we chatted earlier with Chloe McMillan on our pre-game show on WARFradio.com. When we look at these 2 sides, you've got a Melbourne team that's, I keep saying Melbourne team, Casey Demons. You know, there'll be some old Springvale supporters be going, "We're the Scorpions, don't you forget it." Well, not really anymore. The Casey Demons run by Melbourne. But the Casey Demons try to copy that Melbourne style of football, which is always structure. Good passing, good midfields, etc. Up against the Collingwood side who, as we've seen at the AFLW level, have been adding more speed to the team. Haven't been able to get down to many Casey games since Casey Fields is a bit of a hike from where I am, but yeah, I suppose if you're generally speaking, in my opinion, a lot of football programs and the way they manage their tactics are very much aligned AFL and VFL across like the men's game as well. The senior coach of the senior side
demands that you play a certain way, and his or her coaches alongside them certainly want to match that, because if you're pushing for an AFLW spot, you need to play in that certain same system and that standard of playing, right, in terms of the way you manage tactics and whatnot. So,
well, I remember having a chat with Damien Carroll, who, if I'm correct, I think he's still there in a development role at Hawthorn, but he coached the Boxall Hawks for a number of years in the VFL men's competition before getting promotion at Hawthorn. And ironically, when we talk about Casey Stevenson, their former guys as Springvale, he was a premiership footballer for them. And we used to always chat frequently off air because we used to cover their games at 3WBC. And he talked about saying, as a coach, his responsibility is at the VFL level to copy what is done at the level above. The priority is not winning, which sounds strange. It's like if the game is there to be won in the dying seconds, yeah, they'll make the moves and go for it. But the main purpose throughout the game is to make sure that the structure and everything is played almost to a T. That what played at the level above. So it's a plug-and-play scenario. Whenever you look at your AFLW side, you go, okay, we might be weak in the back pocket, or we've got an injury in the back pocket. Right, let's go down the VFLW side. Who's playing that type of back pocket role that we can plug in straight away? So they go in and they know to play exactly the same system. Now that, of course, is the women's game lining up with the women's game, the men's game lining up with the men's game. They tried to in the first year of the AFLW, and Wayne Siegman did admit this when he was coach of Collingwood for the 3 years in the first year, and he wasn't the only one. There was a number of other coaches that all said that they made mistakes the first year of the AFLW, which is fair enough. First year of the competition, everyone's trying to figure out what's going on.
Everybody's pretty raw.
Yeah, as Wayne said, they tried to copy Nathan Buckley's game plan in the AFL men's for the first year of the AFLW until they realised, oops, we've overcomplicated this. The skill level at that stage was not there, so therefore it was not being executed correctly. And as we saw Collingwood struggle in the first few years, they're not the only side to do that. Paul Groves admitted when he coached the first year of the Western Bulldogs, they tried to make the game plan too complicated. He said he simplified it in 2018, and they got the flag that year. So you can see that the club's desire to have all teams try and play a certain brand, and now of course they know, okay, at the moment the men's game and the women's game are certainly at different levels, so it'll be just a case of VFL men's will follow AFL men's game plan, VFL women's will follow AFL women's game plan, but there won't be that crossover of all teams playing the same game plan.
No, certainly not men's and women's, and it goes without saying that, well, the players on the field differs to what's out there in the men's game, 16 versus 18 on 18, but
it does beg the question though, at what year into the AFLW may we see that attempted again, what they tried to do in the first year, which is the game plan that was played at AFL men's. There will be that same game plan across all teams in the club, because as we've been talking about and everyone's been raving about, the junior girls that are coming through the competition that now have the pathway which didn't exist, their skills are better and better and better and better than the women currently playing the AFLW that are mid-20s plus, who didn't have the pathway. So when their skills, after watching and being inspired by a generation or so of AFLW footballers, it does beg at what year down the line will some club attempt to do what they tried to do in year one.
And there's the factor again of the amount of players on the field. Generally speaking, especially in my case down at the Southeast Women's and a lot of leagues alike, you're playing 18-a-side football. So, you know, two players out of each side, you might think that might not make that much of a difference, but actually it's quite important because it's the way you play with the people that you have. So, I mean, I thought, you know, perhaps that question you asked me going along the lines of, you know, when might we see 18-side? I hope it happens.
Well, you talk about the difference in the game, the 18 and 16-a-side football, which we know the old VFA used to be 16-a-side. But when the women went to 16-a-side, I remember chatting with Lisa Williams. Lisa Williams, of course, from the Diamond Creek Football Club, Premiership footballer there, VWFL 2012. was the inaugural captain of Essendon in the VFLW, played in the first year, and then was delisted by the Western Bulldogs. And she admitted, because she was a wing player, she could either come off the halfback or wing. She was kind of lost in that first year, because not only the complicated game plan, but because no one really knew what the structure should be for 16 aside. Remember, this is before we had the 5-6-5 rule, and she was like, well, are we going to go with a lineup of 4 in the middle and 6 at either end, so a 6-4-6, or are we going a 5-6-5? And there was no, because again the 5-6-5 rule wasn't there, no one really knew of how to set up and how to match up. And as she admitted, because essentially there were both sides were starting to play without the wing to originally begin to get used to that 16 side. It was like, well, where do I position myself? How far up the ground do I run? There was for her a loss of, well, where am I really playing? Which area am I working in? Because she's used to growing up and playing senior women's football at 18 aside, where you naturally know where to position yourself. And that was the thing with 16-a-side football when it came in, that some women that particularly played the wings or the flanks were like, how far up the ground am I supposed to push up? Am I now the link-up player or I'm not the link-up player? What is my role?
Is that true? I suppose, is that why sometimes there's a lot of confusion with a lot of the players around the ball? Has that got anything to do with it?
No, because there's always been players around the ball in women's football.
Sure.
Yeah, it's always...
But like, I mean heaps. Like, cause
yeah.
You've got that sort of congestion style footy that I had a chat to a mate of mine of the Hawks about in a grand final a couple of years ago that I was watching. I said, how do you get away from that? I'm thinking, is it, more like position based, or is it structure? How do you get around so many players around the ball? Like, does the condition, I suppose the confusion as to where you're playing have anything to do with that?
I don't think so. I think you tend to get sucked into the contest if it's a scrappy game. But I think it's more of a case of the link-up play, and how far up the ground you push, and how far the ball gets out the back. I mean, for example, if you've got out in the wing position, ball scrappy, a lot of players around the ball. Sometimes to try and break it up, you take the gamble of you send the instruction out as coach for less players to be around the ball and for them to drop one kick back. So let the opposition win the ball, but knowing in these type of conditions, most likely they're probably going to do a hack job with the kick, and then you're thinking 2 steps ahead. You're hoping that with your numbers drop back, you'll intercept, and if you do it smartly, instead of going down the line, you will run the ball out the other side.
Yeah.
And that comes down to discipline. Just a case of you've got to know when the message sends out to, okay, let's concede one contest to win the greater battle. So, in the case of a patchy field today, you probably see a lot of players around the ball there. Absolutely, and it will come down to, because Victoria Park's not really a big ground when we look at it. It's a rather small ground. It's which coach will send the runner out first to kind of say, we need to, in these scrappy conditions, we need to concede these stoppages when there's a ball up. We need to concede these contests and drop back to open the game up.
Yep, exactly.
So, and who would have favoured? Because then again, remember, if you're the side in front, let's say you hold a 2-goal lead, it's then in your interest to try and keep it scrappy.
Yeah, exactly. And just to hold that play up. Some teams are really good at doing that, and that, as you're sort of alluding to, is a great way of icing the clock. Stoppages are great in terms of just slowing the play down and just putting that pressure on. So, yeah, the pressure around the ground is especially important in slowing the game down. And yeah, if one team gets a handy 2 or 3 goal lead, we'll probably see that towards the back end of the game.
So this opportunity to take a break. This is the pre-game show on WARFradio.com and the VFLW YouTube stream. We'll be back on the other side of this break with the bounce down at 10 a.m. between the Pies and the Casey Demons.
We are the Australian Literacy and Numeracy Foundation. striving to empower our most marginalised communities through literacy and education. Literacy is having a voice. Literacy is opportunity. Literacy is dreaming big. Literacy is freedom. Today, you can help end inequality and give every child access to our life-changing and proven literacy programs. Your support is vital. Donate now at alnf.org.
Draft Central is entering a new era, covering all the state leagues, from the VFLW, Sample W, Waffle W and Quaffle W, as well as their primary focus, the NAB League Girls. Draft Central has you covered when it comes to all you need to know about the future stars of the AFL Women's. Draft Central, brought to you by Rookie Me, is now on YouTube, so be sure to subscribe at Draft Central, as well as on our Facebook, Twitter and Instagram pages at Draft Central Odds.
How often should you wash your hands?
Maybe around 9 times a day.
4?
Like 20?
Maybe twice a day.
Whenever they feel dirty.
When should you wash your hands?
After you touch some raw meat.
And before starting to eat.
At the beginning, I wash my hands before preparing food.
How would you rate your knowledge of food safety?
Probably like an 8 out of 10.
6 or 7.
7.5?
Learn more at foodsafety.asn.au/food safety training. Food safety, it's in your hands.
There's jumpers, hoodies, and tees for you at leaguetees.com.au.
Leaguetees.com.au is your place for retro footy gear, with designs created by local artists that you won't find anywhere else. Plus, their unique range of women's footy tees help raise funds for Indigenous literacy programs. Get online and start shopping today.
leaguetees.com.au.
Elder abuse can take many forms. Financial abuse is the most common.
He said, Mum, I'll get the money for you. I gave him my card. He's my son.
And then I got a call from the bank manager.
I never expected this from my daughter.
If I don't change my will, I can't see the grandkids again.
For free confidential support, call 1-800-ELDER-HELP. That's 1-800-353-374.
Hey guys, I'm Jess. And I'm Lisa from the Veronicas for RAD. Recording artists, actors and athletes against drink driving. What does it mean to be a designated driver? It means you're the friend who's agreed not to drink, not the person who's had the least to drink. It's cool to do and it shows you care about your friends. If you screw up just once, then your life changes forever. Face it, their lives are in your hands. So why don't you and your friends take it in turns to be the designated driver when you go out? You'll make the road safer for all of us.
Hi, I'm Natalie Armat from NITV. Neighbour Day on March 28 is a national celebration of community. It's a day that reminds us why having strong social connections is so good, not only for our well-being, but for those around us. It brings together people from next door, the local community, or even online. But the real strength is in us knowing that Neighbour Day isn't just one day, it's every day. Visit neighbourday.org for events and information.
Neighbour Day is a program of Relationships Australia.
It's Anna Mears winning gold.
Hey, I'm Anna Mears. Winning gold at the Olympics was an incredible feeling. And having my biggest rival, who I'd just beaten, right up next to me and lift my hand in victory topped off an amazing moment. We'd had our fair share of clashes over the years, but in the end we both respected each other, and that's what really counts in sport. Be gracious in victory and in defeat. To keep your sport inclusive, safe and fair, go to playbytherules.net.au.
It's women's Aussie rules, they're doing what they love. They're fast, they're tough, don't mess with them cause they can get rough. Are you ready for the challenge? Are you ready for the match? It's the call of the game, it's the VFL Women's Match of the Day. It's the VFL Women's Match of the Day.
On WARFradio.com and the VFLW YouTube stream. This is the VFL Women's Match of the Day. Collingwood versus the Casey Demons, 10 a.m. bounce down. Peter Holden and John O'Venn with you live at Victoria Park. Great to have your company. And again, if you're on WARFradio.com, you can go to the YouTube live stream. Just search VFLW and you'll see a vision of the game. For those that have just joined us, as we head to the first bout The rain did stop about an hour ago. We had one good old downpour and then it stopped, thank goodness. However, the ground is a bit choppy here at Victoria Park. And as we pan throughout the day, you'll no doubt see it to the left of screen. As we talked to Chloe McMillan from the Collingwood Magpies, she did expect that there would be a lot of stoppages in today's game. But who knows, sometimes these games can surprise you. It is a top four battle, and we could end up having a shootout in the end. Particularly, the Casey Demons will know Collingwood well with a couple of their premiership footballers, Grace Buchan and Nicole Hales, now playing for the Casey Demons. I wonder how much IP they were able to divulge.
Certainly goes both ways as well for with someone like Grace Buchan as well, captain of that premiership side. But then again, a key omission in that premiership side is then coach Penny Cooler-Reid, obviously at Williamstown these days. So whether the game plan has changed somewhat, it would be interesting to see what's being communicated in the Casey HQ during the week.
And shout out, by the way, to one of our match analysts, Emily Fox, who finally, after having issues with her ankle, will make her debut for Williamstown tomorrow against North Melbourne at Arden Street Oval. Collingwood side has broken from the huddle, so has the Casey Demons. We're not too far away from a bounce down. Let's try and get some tips and predictions. John O'Ven, who will win today and by how much?
I reckon it's going to be Collingwood, but I reckon it's going to be close. I reckon maybe it's going to be, I reckon at most it's probably going to be Collingwood by 12 points, I will say.
I agree. I think we'll be in for a close one. I'm going for Collingwood by 7 points. I think we'll be in for a low-scoring, scrappy affair, and I think the Pies will hang on their home deck. Cool conditions, crowd at the moment of about 100, no doubt affected because of the rainy conditions. And again, that Melbourne, which is Casey's AFLW affiliate, playing, of course, at 3 p.m. at Casey Field in the AFLW today against the Brisbane Lions. Just about all is in readiness here on WARFradio.com and the VFLW live stream. Umpires checking everything's okay. The Pies going to the right of your radio dial. The Casey Demons to the left. Umpire holds the football up and we're underway. King will start in the ruck here for the Magpies. High in the air it goes. Casey Demons will win the tap out to begin with. Spinning around trying to get in there. Johnson over around the football. Watching on there is Simmons. Can't get it out. Umpire blows the whistle and says, I'll take the football back, please, and we'll restart play. On the bottom of the pack on that occasion was Hallett. Umpire throws it up in the air. One out by King on this occasion. Ball hit the deck over the top. Kendall tried to lay a tackle originally going in there. Fighting hard for it. Ricardo for the Magpies. Umpire circling, sees a scrappy affair like we predicted, and will call for a ball up between centre and centre half forward for the Casey Demons. Literally seconds into the opening quarter.
So the ball goes up again. Ruck goes at it. To slightly favour Casey in that instance, but the ball gets, the player there gets wrapped up for Casey. The umpire will ball it up once again. So there it is, another stoppage. So let's see how we go once again. So ball goes up. This time goes to the advantage of Casey, but there is Stratton there for Collingwood trying to pick it up. Play continues there, but the umpire awards a free kick going the way of Casey. The handball was ditched off by Samantha Johnson as they move towards 50. So high up and under kick, who can get it? No one, unfortunately. Casey players chasing their inside 50 as a bit of a scrap, but there's a shot on goal. It's a behind, so the first score of the day goes to Casey.
Neve McAvoy with that shot there. Going to the right-hand side. So one behind for the Casey Demons. No score yet for the Collingwood Magpies. We'll have to write that down because we don't have a scoreboard in front of us, which is always fun for the commentators. Long kick out, putting the hands up there is Karras. Ball hit the deck. Close towards the pocket. Trying to do the soccer job there on that occasion was Simmons. Close to the boundary line. Does it go over? It doesn't. Humphries is lurking around. Picks up the ball. Emma Humphries away to the left and will register as a minus score. Casey Demons 2 behinds. Collingwood yet to score here on WARFradio.com and the VFLW live stream.
Oh, gee, that was a very impressive kick, which couldn't quite. So here's Ferguson kicking out for the Magpies. Elects to go to the pocket on broadcast side. The mark is taken there by the Collingwood player, but I missed the number.
Velado.
So it is Velado. So the kick is there, and the mark is taken by Stratton, so she's performing well early. So Stratton goes towards midfield. Play continues after the ball goes over the head of two players, but the contest is stopped while the umpire elects to throw the ball up after yet another stoppage. So telling the players to separate. Taps run down by the Casey player. Stratton tried to kick, couldn't quite, but free kick is awarded in the direction of Casey.
That's what they'll do. This is through West. West now going the left boot, long and high in front of our broadcast position. Was trying to find McAvoy, came up with her hands, laying in the tackle there is Mifsud. Ball squeezed down, trying to crack in for it is Simmons, couldn't do so. Pye's ball on the left, going up for it and then almost bringing it to ground was Johnson. Ball got punched around. Umpire said no, it wasn't a throw, unlike last night's Geelong game at Cardinia Park. Taken away there by Kendall. Put it on the right boot. Tried to pump it inside 50. Awkward bouncing football. Collected very well off the deck there by Milford. Milford on the right boot almost brings rain with that kick, and believe me, we don't need any more rain. Ferguson there being chased out from behind by McAvoy. Umpire says that is in the bag. And that will be a free kick going the way of Jasmine Ferguson for the Pies. It's Casey Demons 2 behind. Collingwood yet to score here on WARFradio.com. Ferguson going towards the city side of the ground. Falling backwards trying to take the mark was Villado. The umpire said she got pushed in the act. So she'll end up with a free kick on the half-back flank. Will go long up the line. Trying to score from behind is Johnson. Hands over the top. Intercepted though on that occasion by McDonald. Tried the old out the back door hand pass. Didn't quite work out. They do have numbers back there though, the Demons. Umpire says that's holding as Hales is trying to go for the football, and it will be a free kick going the way of the KC Demons. They'll get going quickly through Hales on the right boot. Going towards the half-forward flank on the city side of the ground. But the mark is intercepted by Villado back there in defensive 50, and she'll relieve the pressure.
So Villado kicks with a high up and under to the outer side. Nothing doing, unfortunately, for the Pies. Umpire letting play go for the moment. But here come Casey with the rebound, but they couldn't quite as well. Ball in dispute. Just to go the advantage of Collingwood. And the mark is taken by Corbinville. So Corbinville kicks inside 50 for the Magpies. Mark almost was taken by Imogen Barnett, but she couldn't quite. Ball goes towards the outer side as Casey looked to rebound here. So across the outer side wing, ball heads towards the boundary line. Can the Demons keep it in? Yes, they can. And the mark wasn't quite taken by Humphreys there, but play continues. There's a whistle.
Intercepted by Ferguson, and Ferguson is going to take it and kicks up the line. Little short kick, works out okay. They're between half-back and the centre wing position. Goes for a chip up the line. Trying to fly from behind on that occasion was Stratton. Pye still with the advantage though towards the half-forward flank. Running after the football is Corbinville. Now has it, swings inside 50. Can someone run onto the football? Trying to chase it there is Bunker. Overran the pill while under all kinds of pressure. Going to see a Meg McDonald close towards the boundary line pocket. Hurried little snap back for the Pies. Empty goal square. How does that bounce? It bounces pretty good. Goal for the Pies. And they move to 1 straight 6. The Casey Demons yet to score. There was the Demons more, Jono, trying to find the safety of the boundary line. It blew up in their face. The Pies with a snap from the empty goal square. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so a solid effort from Collingwood to keep it in on the outer side. And yeah, they got their just reward, and the crowd here, which has built quite a bit, seems to have approved of that. That's good.
Now, I'm thinking it might have been Caitlin Bunker that got that shot on. It was either Bunker or Corbinville. I think it was Bunker. But I'll double check on the VFL website just to be sure. Collingwood players obviously don't have the number on the front of the jumpers like they did the years gone by, so
that's what I was looking for sure.
Exactly.
So here we go again. Play restarts. Rucks go at it. King tried, but couldn't quite as the ball was received by Hallett. And a kick forward for the Pies was in dispute there, unfortunately. Collingwood's there to pick it up through, I think it was Stratton, as Collingwood managed to kick as they get ever so closely to goal. And Here's a chance for the Pies to score another one, but it's gone wide. It's just one behind.
117 to 2 behinds. You're on WARFradio.com and also via the VFLW YouTube stream. Ball to be brought back into play from the Sharon end of the ground. Going for a run is Emerson. Emerson will put her on the right boot, go towards the city side of the ground. Too much juice on the kick, and it's an intercept mark taken by Jordan Mifsud. Mifsud has the ball 60 metres out from home, pumps it long towards the hot contest. Hands up, brought to ground as Johnson tried to work her way through. Ball still in dispute on the deck, smacked along the ground by King. Hurried little kick out there from the Demons towards the back pocket, trying to get there in the nick of time for the Pies. Just being wrapped up. It was Simmons who was laying the tackle. The player there, the 99, Evan. I saw a 9, just couldn't see the other number in the middle of that traffic jam. We'll throw it up and go again. Now it's brought it to ground. Trying to get a hack job out of there, Jennifer Guy. Got smothered off her boot. Hurried little kick along the deck. Now it was intercepted and sent back from once it came by Meg McDonald. Out towards the half-forward flank. Foot race is on here. Going at the contest, Elizabeth Jackson. Ball still remains in play on the wing position, city side of the ground. Stacks on the pill, and the umpire says there's half a dozen players around it, and they have no choice but to call for a ball up and restart play. On the bottom of that was Amelia Ballard.
Interesting to see as well in midfield. I think it was Rebecca Grant who took a bit of a tumble inside the centre square. So play restarts, and ball's going to be in dispute again. Looks like the umpire will have it. No, he's going to award holding the ball, going the way of Casey, and the free kick will be taken. Missed the number once again. So as play continues on the outer side, here come Casey inside 50. Who can get a mark? Not taken as the Collingwood player managed to just spoil it. And ball in dispute once again. Umpire circling. Play on to the call. Unfortunately, is the nature of this scrappy affair here today at Victoria Park. The umpire circling once again as the ball's on the ground. Players scramble to try and find a way out. And who's going to win this scrum? Looks to be Collingwood. Can they get a kick? Yes, they can. It's not quite far enough as Chantel Edmondson misses it for Casey. And the
umpire off the ball has spotted a free kick here.
Yes, indeed. So,
and reversed to Collingwood's way.
So he goes down as the at his own umpire, and Collingwood's going to take the kick.
Xander now on the right boot. Xander's going to go up the line towards centre half forward. Dropping the pill there at the crucial moment was Colburn Veal. And the Demons trying to weave out of it through it, dancing Nicole Hales. Kicks it in towards the central corridor. Got nutmeg was Eliza West. Coming away is Guy. Guy on the left boot going towards centre half forward. Awkward bouncing ball. That to be slapped back to the advantage of Nicole Hales. Hales works it out towards the wing on the city side of the ground, finding Maggie Karras. Karras with the pill on the right boot. Her side down by 5 points. Goes up towards the half forward flank position. McAvoy threw the arms out to say, "I'm being held!" And the umpire said, "Yep, saw that," and that will be a free kick. So the Irish woman, Neve McAvoy, kicked 2 goals last week. She has the football and she's on the half-forward flank, 65 metres out from home. Sees a lead on towards the forward pocket. Milford got a little nudge there at the crucial moment by Ferguson. And the Pies are going to clean this one up. They'll come out towards the wing on the city side of the ground. Too much on it. Went through the hands there of the 66 and Trisha Cowan, the emergency playing in the side today. Coming in to lay the tackle on this occasion is Imogen Barnett. And the umpire says, I'll ask the football back and call for a ball up, please.
So ball up on the outer side wing. He tried to get the tap. Ends in the hands of the Casey player. The umpire to restart, and he does exactly that. Ball goes up. It's a bit of a ricochet as the ball is in dispute once again. Umpire circling. What's going to happen here? Holding the ball is the call this time. No, again going the same way for Casey. And the player taking the kick. Not sure I missed the number once again.
Oh, you'll get there. As it's going in there, Colburn Veal. She can't extract the football out. Umpire blows the whistle and will call for a ball up. I should mention for those listening online, debut today on play-by-play for John O'Ven. Yours truly, something like game 650. I know I've lost count after all the years. Quick kick away out of the contest by Eliza West, goes inside 50. Awkward bouncing ball. Horn tries to go after it, runs up the opponent immediately, has support from the Nakaboy. He says, I want to jump in, I want the football. Imogen Purcell comes in for the Pies. Umpire continues to circle, allows the ball to come out. It's a squeeze snapshot around trying to find Milford, but the ball goes out of bounds on the full. 117 the Pies, the Demons 2 behinds. Around the halfway mark here at the first term, WARFradio.com and the VFLW YouTube stream. They'll take the advantage, Pies, to come out of their back 50 with a long kick heading in the King direction. Karras was there, knocked it down with her right hand. Guy was holding onto her. Karras went after it and picked it up. Tried to get a hand pass in there to Fairchild, was knocked away from her. Close towards the boundary line. Ball spills to the advantage of Fitzsimmons. Umpire spotted something and said there will be a free kick going the way of the Pies, and they'll have the opportunity to try and breathe off the halfback flank. And I think, if I'm correct, that might be, I see a helmet there, might be bunked with that free kick.
It's hard to tell without the numbers on the front. As you said, play continues on the outer side wing. Collingwood looked to rebound here. The mark was almost taken by Barnett, but she wouldn't bite. As Casey rebound again. So, heading towards the midfield. Mark wasn't taken by either player as the soccer off the ground came from, might have been Nifson. And they look to rebound once again. Can the Pies get a goal? Here's Barnett. She shoots for goal, and fortunately once again wide of the post, it's one behind. So the score currently at the moment is Collingwood 1-8 leading Casey Demons 2 behinds.
You're on WARFradio.com. Emerson to bring the ball back into play for the Casey Demons. Looking around for some options. See players matching up one-on-one at the moment. Trying to offer a short lead was Conroy, ignored. She ends up going long towards the halfback flank. Go for the tallest player you can find, and it is Maggie Karras. Karras broadcast side, halfback flank, gets on the right boot, decides to go straight up the line. Umpire says there's some holding going on in that contest, and it will be a free kick to the Casey Demons. And Imogen Milford wearing the 28, or was Milford. She was one of them I thought had friend with, but instead McAvoy can have the kick. So McAvoy, the Irishwoman from the Melbourne AFLW list, decides to give up a little hand pass. They go up the line here. Trying to cut it off there was Grant. Almost did so successfully. Bunker getting in there. Buchan, though, picked it up. The former Collingwood captain, premiership captain. Buchan goes back with a hand pass. Getting dumped as she kicked to Emma Horn. Intercepted by Guy. No 15 claims the umpire. Play on. Put it on the left boot. Almost hit her target there at the centre half, the half forward flank rather, in Barnett. Barnett's got to get going quickly because she almost got run down by Hales. Found a player at the hot spot. That player who tried to get a hurry kick away wearing the 99 was Emin. Turnover though, going the way of the Casey Demons. Emerson goes in. Edmund and Emerson. Geez, that's going to be a tongue twister today. Across to McAvoy. McAvoy picked off the carpet, gave up the hand pass, kicks up the line. Ball was bouncing past Harmony Thomas though. Good run down from behind by Emma Humphreys. Hand pass came over the top. Trying to put a hand in there was Imogen Milford. Demons trying to keep the ball in their own forward half of the ground. We're at centre half forward. Thomas elects to kick it off the ground instead of bending over to pick it up. Humphreys going in after the football. Got bounced off of it. Going in there for support though is Grace Buchan. Does well. Buchan maybe hell without it. Umpire said you're over the top of it. Play on. Everyone's jumping on top of the football like it's a giant game of Twister. And the umpire says time to break it up. We'll call for a ball up 30 metres out from goal.
So the umpire just taking his time going back, and he decides to throw the ball up as being usual, I should say. So Collingwood look to be the beneficiary of that ball up as it goes to the broadcast side wing. Players surround. The Casey player there tried to drag it back in, but here they come with the rebound. Oh, the Casey player there was tackled high. The Casey player, being Mietta Kendall, will get the free kick on broadcast side wing just near the faded AFLW logo. So Mietta Kendall inside 50 for the Casey Demons. Just to find an option, but Collingwood rebound quickly through Jennifer Guy, getting the ball and getting involved once again as she likes to do. So Molly Edmond to the outer side wing. Going to find the boundary? Not quite. So they continue on. They're doing this circle work pretty well, the Pies. But Casey looked to cut them off. As the ball goes to ground, umpire circling, he says, I'll have it.
He'll have the football to ball up at the half-forward flank for Collingwood, city side of the ground. Pies lead by 6 points, 1-2-8, 2-2 behinds. Throws it high in the air. Going in to try and drive football there and being brought down that moment with Stratton. You've got the hand pass away. She was dumped into the turf. Bunker tries to bury in there to try and pick it up. Trying to get a hurry kick away, but got knocked over was Laura Johnston. Umpire says holding the football against the Pies. Being pinned with it was Mifsud, and there'll be a free kick going the way of the Casey Demons, and they go immediately up the line, try to find Emma Humphreys. Drop the football, then had someone collect her on the way through in Emin. Umpire says, no, it was fair, you can play on. Pies will go quickly towards the half-forward flank position, just cleaning it up there, Nicole Hales, the former Collingwood Premiership footballer from 2019. Kicks it up the line, went through several sets of hands. Waiting out the back was McAvoy, was immediately claimed. Got the hand pass away. Still in heavy traffic as Humphreys gives the hand pass out to Buchan, who got shoved after she kicked. Went and found Simmons. Isabella Simmons with a football on the wing position, city side of the ground. Wants to come in towards the central corridor. Numbers with the Pies that bounce off the chest of Milford. Going through there and weaving through traffic is Ferguson. Ferguson kicks it towards the half-forward flank, city side of the ground. How will it sit on this occasion? McGowan lost control of the football. Half a dozen around it at the moment as Bunker almost had her head ripped off trying to go in for the pill. Ball on the deck, trying to lay the knees in there at the same time as Emma Horn. Squeezed out for the Pies, goes inside 50. McDonald tried to park herself underneath it for Casey. Popped away from her, having a crack at it. Milano can't get it out. It did come out to Stratton. It's an empty goal square. Could it happen again for the second time in a quarter? It has!
Hashtag save the dribble.
The Casey Demons have paid the penalty twice for having a vacant goal square. It dribbles through there for Collingwood, courtesy of Stratton, and they extend the lead, 2-2-14. The Casey Demons 2 behind.
Yeah, so standouts for the Pies. Yeah, this morning definitely include Stratton, who's just been on fire today. So I tell you what, she's going to be a really good player to watch for the rest of the game.
Again, as we mentioned earlier during our pre-game show, because of the competition bye next week, as the siren sounds for quarter time, this is really the last week to make a statement for the AFLW listed players that want to play finals football for either Collingwood or Melbourne. And at quarter time, Collingwood 2-2-14 lead the Casey Demons just the 2 behinds. Fair to say, when you consider looking at the game, the Casey Demons are throwing up the challenge to the Pies. You feel like for the contested ball, it's fairly even. It's just the case of the Casey Demons twice in a row have left an empty back 20, and for Collingwood, luck has gone their way both times. Both of those goals have been dribble goals.
Yeah, Casey's rebound work has been really good. They've managed to take the ball off the punt. They just need to take advantage of that, and they're not. And as a result, the Pies are just launching an even better counter-attack and taking advantage of the empty goal square, as you say.
We believe that the goal kickers are Bunker and Stratton. We definitely know Stratton was one. We're not 100% sure on that was the first goal to Bunker or not. We've quickly checked the VFL website for the official scores, but that has not been updated. That is what we believe it is at quarter time. We don't have the benefit of being able to sit back and watch the replay here, as we don't have the monitor in front of us. We're just eyeballing it as we see it here on WARFradio.com and the VFLW YouTube stream. Talk us through some of the better players from both sides for that first quarter.
So Imogen Barnett's got involved for Collingwood in stages, which has been really good to see for them. But as you call her name a lot of the time this quarter, Grace Buchan for the Casey Demons, she's floating around looking to get involved as well. So lots to talk about in the respective coaches' huddles from that, and it'd be interesting to see what the second quarter looks like. Hopefully Casey can bounce back with one or two.
We'll take this opportunity to take a break at quarter time. Collingwood 2-2-14, the Casey Demons 2 behinds here on WARFradio.com and the VFLW YouTube stream.
If you've had something stolen,
or if you've had property damaged, you need the police, not the sirens.
If you've lost something or found something valuable,
or if you want to register a party or let us know you're going away on holiday, you need the police, not the sirens.
When you need the police, but not the sirens, you can now report these incidents online at police.vic.gov.au or call 131 444.
Authorised by the Victorian Government, Melbourne.
Hi, Kirk Pingilly from InXS here. And whether it's music, sweet things, puppies, movies, we all love our treats. But our eyes need treating too. 300,000 Australians, including me, are affected by glaucoma. Diagnosed early, glaucoma can be managed. Left undiagnosed, it can cause blindness. So treat yourself by treating your eyes to a simple test. Book your test at treatyoureyes.org.au today.
69. The number of cancer-causing chemicals in tobacco smoke. 16. The number of places in your body that smoking causes cancer, including the bladder, bowel, liver, and pancreas. 1 in 5. The number of all cancers caused by smoking. 1. The number of clear ways you have to reduce your risk if you're a smoker. Call Quitline 137848 or go to quit.org.au.
Draft Central is entering a new era, covering all the state leagues from the VFLW, SANFL-W, WFLW and QFLW, as well as their primary focus, the NAB League girls. Draft Central has you covered when it comes to all you need to know about the future stars of the AFL Women's. Draft Central, brought to you by Rookie Me, is now on YouTube, so be sure to subscribe at Draft Central, as well as on our Facebook, Twitter and Instagram pages at Draft Central Oz.
It's the VFL Women's Match of the Day.
On WARFradio.com and the VFLW YouTube stream, this is the VFL Women's Match of the Day. Collingwood versus the Casey Demons at quarter time. Collingwood 2-2-14 leading the Casey Demons 2 behind. Unofficially, we have it as Stratton and Bunker as the goal kickers for Collingwood, as the Casey Demons now break from their huddle. Peter Holden with you and Jono Van. We should mention Jono Van on play-by-play, making his play-by-play debut today. And to be fair, the call-up for you, just to explain to everyone, happened at around about 8 a.m. this morning. We had three other commentators penciled in for today. One pulled away sick yesterday. Two had the Windy Hill flu at 7:45 this morning. So to be fair to Jono, not only is it your debut, you actually have had no time at all to study the list because you got the call at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I was originally on my way to Glen Ferry, and then I was going to go watch the cricket at the Junction Oval, which unfortunately has been delayed due to rain. But that's the thing about summer and winter sports. You can play footy in any conditions.
Absolutely. As we wait for the players to get back into position, it'll be Karras and King that will get us underway. Collingwood going to the left of your radio dial, Casey going to the right of your radio dial to the Sherrin stand end. And just a reminder for Collingwood supporters that are listening to us on WARFradio.com. After this game finishes and we go off air on the radio at 11:55 a.m, we'll have a 1 hour and 5 minute interview with former Collingwood AFLW footballer Emma Grant that we recorded last year. We chat with Emma, a good hour-long interview, and then at 1 o'clock we'll be at Whitten Oval for the Dogs and the Cats. So we're underway again. Karras wins the tap, put it direct down the throat of a captain, and Johnson, umpire said, immediately pinned for holding the football. Free kick going the way of Bunker. Bunker's got it, goes for a little Texas wedge, a short little kick there. Managing to find Ricardo. Georgia Ricardo with the football on the centre of the ground, gets the hurry up from the umpire and elects to take on Grace Buchan and beats her. Kicks it in towards the forward 50, juggling mark. And I think that might be Trisha Cowan that hung on to that.
It's got an 8 on the end.
At 66, it's Cowan. It's definitely Cowan, the emergency that's in today. Going long towards the forward line, the hot spot. It was Karras that brought it down to ground. A little shovel out hand pass. Johnson tried to cut it off for the Casey Demons. Did so successfully. Get it out towards the halfback flank. All there is Magpies players out there. Elizabeth Jackson is there. Tries to go with a hand pass back. Under pressure. That's a Queen and David Bowie song. And in goes Fairchild. Fairchild is on the wing position. Got mown down, but managed to get it a pass away. Fairchild had to go in again for another crack at the football. Bunker manages to fight her way through. Gets a little hand pass out. Ball still ping-ponging around on the wing position, city side of the ground. Johnson comes in to lay the tackle. Umpire blows the whistle. and we'll call for a ball up. Pies 2-2-14, Casey Demons 2 behind. You're on WAFradio.com.
So ball up here on the outer side. Casey looks to be the beneficiary of that kick as the ball is in dispute. Collingwood and Casey just fighting at it. I think it might have been Ricardo getting involved for the Magpies as the ball comes forward on the Casey end. It's going to be behind. Sorry, it was Grace Buchan kicking that shot at goal. A bit rusty this morning, it's fair to say, Peter.
No copy van here. I just want to point that out. No copy van with an early start as we wait for the ball to come out of the back line. And Ferguson's going to go for a Saturday morning stroll. Kicks up the ground, a little lackadaisical, unfortunately, and intercepted by Maggie Karras. Karras for the Casey Demons, gets on the right boot, pumps it inside 50, into the pack situation, hit the deck. Melbourne lurking around there, can't get the football out. Umpire's blown the whistle and said that it is gone out of bounds, where we'll throw it in. Ball up, pardon me. I just saw the boundary umpire waving madly in the background, but it is definitely a ball up. Going in there, the 88 Nevo Connor doing the ruck working now. Here's a snap around the corner for the Casey Demons. It's away to the right-hand side and will register as a minor score. That kick there by Fairchild, and the Casey Demons move across to 4 behind. Collingwood 2-2-14. You're on WAFradio.com.
So, here, I think Barnett kicking out. My mic's a bit low. They elect to go on the outer side wing, the Pies. But Casey, as good as they ever are to cut it off, and not good on this occasion. There's a reversal. It's going to go the way of Casey.
Humphreys.
And the play with the ball is Humphreys. So Humphreys looks to rebound inside 50. Can the Casey player emerge with the kick? It was Nevy McAvoy trying to get involved. They head towards goal. And kicking the goal is number 28 in Imogen Milford. Couldn't possibly miss from there, and she didn't indeed, as they get their first goal of the day. Collingwood 2-2-14, Casey 1-4-10.
So the Casey Demons finding some better structure and trapping Collingwood in their own back 50. And they do get reward for effort. That was the third of their shots so far for this quarter. Collingwood only been inside their forward 50 once and have not got reward for effort. Umpire with the ball back in the middle of the ground again. It'll be Karras versus King. Making sure everything's right, and we're in the 5-6-5 situation. In fact, they're waiting for Bouchard to get there for the Casey Demons, so we are in 5-6-5, which just holds up the game and proves it's an annoying rule. As the umpire throws the ball high in the air, both rucks miss it. King taps it, but it goes defensively. Going in to try and lay the bump is Jackson. Ball favoured out to Buchan. Buchan on the right boot, going inside 50 for the Demons. Excellent sprawl from behind as McAvoy tried to put the hands up. McAvoy went again and got buried into the ground. And the umpire says G-O-N-E, gone. Free kick to the way of the Pies. And she did go head first, and immediately the trainer has just signalled that I need play to stop because this is a serious situation.
It was borderline 2 actions there, and she's not in a good way.
And she's kind of holding around the back of the head area at the moment, and
double whistle.
The physio pointed to the neck region.
So double whistle here. So
because like you said, it was the double move. She went down, and then the head went in.
On her back, McAvoy.
Let's hope it's not another neck injury, because it's already happened once to an Irishman where we saw that neck injury to Bridge Stack of the GWS Giants during that practice game against the Adelaide Crows, and you could see her legs are moving and stuff like that, so that's probably a good thing. No doubt the doctor's first thoughts would have been, hey, I need to check that we've got movement, etc. Can you move the legs and move your arms and what have you? But you could see that immediately went down, and the umpire was about to pay the free kick for Collingwood to come out of defence. The physio waved immediately to the umpire saying, this is serious, you've got to stop play.
Yeah, I mean, that tackle looked immediately dangerous, and really it's a duty of care to protect the ball player. And unfortunately, she playing the ball, but
it's a strange situation, isn't it? Because the umpires awarded the free kick to Collingwood, but obviously they'll look back at the video with this with the match review officer. In one way, the player could get the free kick, but could almost be charged with rough conduct, dangerous tackle. As Neve McAvoy, the good thing is she is up and walking, so there is no need for a stretcher. But no doubt that A, they're going to do all the tests to make sure the neck is okay, and B, a concussion test will probably follow as well to be absolutely certain.
So it's fair to say that there'll be a player down for the next 20 to 40 minutes. I think the player has to be off the field for 20 minutes under concussion protocols.
You can see that she was talking about the neck area. So again, it's a neck injury. They'll do all the relevant tests they've got to do. But that would be a concern for Melbourne AFLW fans, because Neve McAvoy was looking good in that first quarter. And, you know, she was a possible option for them to go back into their forward line for the AFLW Finals campaign. As we said, let's just hope it's a bit of a stinger, and all of this is precautionary.
So play restarts, and Christy Stratton gets the mark for the Pies. Stratton on broadcast side wing with a high up and under. King tries to get the mark. She couldn't quite. Or dispute. She follows up with the second effort. And Purcell gets the ball for the Pies as they move towards pretty much directly in front of us, but trying to make that forward entry was unsuccessful on this occasion. So King and Karras go up again, as they have throughout this day, and there's a high up and under kick towards the Collingwood end. It was Colborne-Ville trying to get the kick forward again for the Pies. Players falling down left, right and centre due to the conditions. Kick forward is cut off by the Casey player. A bit hard to see the numbers so far out, but the mark is taken by the number 40 in Megan Fitzsimon. So Simon kicks to Thomas, but she couldn't quite take the mark, as Fairchild circles, getting the ball for Casey. On dispute once again. Players everywhere trying to find the ball as the two number 11s in Fairchild and Purcell try and find a way out for their respective teams, but the umpire says no, I'll have it, and he balls it up.
And it's won out by Karras on that occasion, but picked off by Guy. Guy got a hurried little hand pass out, putting it on the left boot of Stratton, going inside 50. Almost a clever grab there by Abby Green. Managed to knock it to the advantage of, and an easy goal for Imogen Barnett.
She's on fire.
The Pies respond here at Vic Park. They go to 3-2-20. Casey Demons 1-4-10 here on WARFradio.com and the VFLW YouTube stream. Don't forget, coming up at 1 o'clock today, we have got the Cats and the Dogs out of VU Whitten Oval. The Western Bulldogs versus Geelong. Is John O'Van.
As we touched on pre-match, hopefully it doesn't ironically rain Cats and Dogs, Peter. But the weather's looking all right at the moment, which is good. Overcast conditions, but that's the nature of footy. So play to restart here at Victoria Park.
These conditions.
I keep track of the time, I should say, but I'll try and get on to that in the second half.
I was going to say, these conditions are a walk in the park compared to what we could probably expect in June down at Williamstown.
Yeah, bit of sea breeze air. So the Rucks go at it once again, as they have throughout the day. Winning the Rove was Samantha Johnson for Casey, but I think she's going to get a free kick actually. So Johnson kicks towards the outer side, and the mark is taken as they move inside 50, and another mark is taken by the Casey player as she regathers. Play continues towards the goal place, but high up and under kick means a high kick means it's going to go out of bounds on the full. Free kick to the Pies.
That's Stratton with the ball. She's got it in the back pocket. She elects to go with a short kick, and it was dangerous to Villano up against the boundary line. She's under all kinds of pressure. Kendall lurking around there for the Casey Demons. Hurry kick is going to go out of bounds on the full. So we'll go back to whence we started. A Pies ball in the back pocket. Stratton saying, why not come to the outer side? The player with the ball in the last says, I'm going to stick on the city side of the ground. Goes to the pack situation. The Tall and Karras knocked it down there for the Casey Demons. Harmony Thomas managed to feed the football backwards to Emma Humphries, who had to pick it up off the deck. Humphries go with a short kick to Johnson. Umpire said no 15, got to play on. Goes quickly, was trying to find Milford. The kick was askew. And the Pies are going to clean up here. They're going to spin up the target here on Rebecca Grant. Grant to the back pocket in front of the Sharon stand. Her side up by 10 points. Looking around for some options. One of them just circling around is Edmund as she wants to go in that direction. Does, but a little wide of her, but still finds another teammate in Jennifer Guy. Guy on the left boot, wearing the flashy boots. You're going to be good if you wear the flashy boots. Goes to King, and it proved it was good, and it's a good kick. Now goes up with King, whose kick wasn't probably so flash, going inside 50. Left some work for Barnett to do, tackling from behind. The umpire says it's all locked in. The player caught with it is Horn, and will reset play. 45 metres out from goal. Tap down. Had it for a moment there was Emmon, smothered off her boot. Oh, Humphries ran into trouble, just bounced off the wall and says, nah, I'm okay. Went going up the line through Johnson. The kick is immediately intercepted.
Neve McAvoy back on the ground, surprisingly.
That is very good news to hear, particularly for Melbourne AFLW supporters. Here's the kick by Villano, long intercepted. And the Demons will switch out of defence. Mark being taken here by the 45 and Harmony Thomas. Thomas now gets on the right boot. Her kick almost intercepted. Had it momentarily was Mifsud, then dropped it like a piece of soap. Buck and Rats are all up. Umpire says you got spun around, you got spun around, you got spun around. And that is holding the football. And the former Collingwood captain, Grace Buchan, has the ball for the Demons.
See, the interpretation's a bit confusing, but here comes Buchan. The contest was there, but no player can emerge from it as players circle. Number 56 in Neil for Collingwood just couldn't quite get the ball as Casey looked to go at it again. McAvoy chasing, but then decides, oh no, decides to leave it behind, and so the player in number 45 for Thomas has coughed it up under the lasso rule, and Collingwood look to rebound. So Edmund takes a mark for the Pies here on broadcast side. Edmund lowers the eyes, kicks to Caitlin Bunker. So Bunker, nice run up, high up and under kick. Who can emerge? Fortunately, no one for the Pies, but the Casey players wrapped up. Buchan gets the handball straight to her teammate in, not entirely sure, can't see the front number there.
99 Emmon.
Who kicks it out in the full, and Collingwood look to rebound here.
Emmon with a free kick now manages to go on quickly to Stratton. Stratton almost got mown down, got a kick inside 50, wasn't all that great. Elbows in there from Hales. Now the Casey Demons trying to find Humphries, went over her head. Battaglia watches first out of the pack. The Tasmanian tries to go in and pick up the football, overran it, hand pass back from Mifsud. Umpire says over the shoulder, free kick going the way of 53 in Grant. I should mention earlier I said Bunkin with the helmet, it's actually Neil with the helmet, my apologies for that. Goes long for the King direction. King went through her hands though, under all kinds of pressure, going in this Colburn Veal. Hand pass came out over the Casey Demons. Buchan was under pressure, it was hot potato stuff, so she says I'm getting rid of the ball before I get pinged. Fairchild wanted to try and jump in there as well. Umpire circles, blows the whistle and says, stalemate. I'll call for a ball up at the half-forward flank here for the Magpies. So we reset play. Close towards the boundary line. Neil goes in to pick up the football. Gets it across. Jubbling at the back is Xander. Going in there to try and have a crack there is Kendall. Can't get it out there. Watching on Xander. Umpire circling. Neil wants to extract the football. No dice. And Bunker also jumps in there for the Pies. Rugby maul at the moment. Fairchild. Umpire, you've got a whistle. Might be a good idea to use it. He says, no, it's going to pop out. And he was correct. And it was Jackson. Now kicks it in towards the hot spot. 40 metres out from the Pies goal. Again, another scrum is going to form. Having a crack in there, Trisha Cowan. The umpire says, now we'll have a break. We'll have a Kit Kat. 3-2-20 for the Pies. Casey Demons 1-4-10.
He jumped pretty well, the ump, to receive that. A bit like umpire Peter Carey back in the day. The ball up lands in the hands of no one in particular as the ball's in dispute. Players go to ground. And looks like to be another ball up. Collingwood players just burying the Casey. In fact, I don't even think the Casey player was in the contest there, as it was Xander, who ended up with it. It's actually going to be a free kick to Casey, and it lands in the hands of Fitzsimon. So Fitzsimon almost got it to Johnson, but they keep on moving the ball through, and Milford's chasing it, but couldn't quite end up with the ball as Collingwood players come to launch a response. Nothing doing, the umpire says, I'll have it. As is definitely the case around the patchy spots around the ground here at Victoria Park. So the ball goes up. King looks to have won the tap out there. And the ball is gathered and kicked by Fitzsimon again. She's played well for the Casey Demons so far. Collingwood player in Haslam was wrapped up. All emerges is that solid hip and shoulder came from Colborne Veal as the Pies look to rebound once again through Haslam. And there's a kick there from the number 9 for Casey in Conroy, and fortunately it's gone straight for the boundary. It will be a boundary throw-in just inside the arc there, so avoiding the lasso rule, the boundary umpire coming in 10 metres to throw the ball in.
Yeah, I thought it might have been, she kicked it over the line. I'd like to have a look back at that as the ball is thrown back into play. Hurry kick away by Guy on the left boot, curled around the corner, diving mark there. And taking that is Nicole Hales. Hales with the football, says, I'm going to go long and up the line. And that's what she does on the right boot, heading in the Neve McAvoy direction, floats away from her. Trying to go up there as Fitzsimon, close towards the boundary line, under pressure by Ricardo, over and out, will call for the ball in. 10-point lead at the moment to the Collingwood Magpies over the Casey Demons. Second term action here on WARFradio.com. Your home of women's football. Later today from 1 o'clock, we've got the Bulldogs and the Cats. Tomorrow from 9:30, Essendon and Port Melbourne. As the ball is thrown back into play. Out the back is Xander. Xander got it across to Emmon. Emmon now goes inside 50. Vacant goal square. Don't tell me it'll be another goal that's a dribbler. Have a look at that from Green. Green says, no hands required. Just kick that out of mid-air. And the Pies go to 4-2-26. The Casey Demons 1-4-10 for Collingwood. What's this thing called set shots? We don't need them.
But what's this thing called Australian rules football? Just forget about the hands and play soccer with a Sherrin, which can be brutal, especially if they're playing barefoot. But yeah, Collingwood in the open goal square, it's been a true factor today here at Victoria Park. And yeah, gee, I wonder if Casey are going to launch, you know, a bit of a tactical change and look to get players inside the square and just move on the goal place.
That's the consistent thing with the Pies. Every time they're getting that goal, they're able to get the ball over the top and out the back. And there's no one playing a sweeper role out the back for the Casey Demons, and it's hurting them.
Indeed it is. So, umpire says, yep, 5-6-5's in place. Ball goes up. King gets the tap out. And Collingwood look to do a lot of what they have this quarter, which is just kick more and more goals. So a pack forms, ball goes to ground, and the umpire says, I'll have it again. No, yes indeed. So players separated, looked to be a free kick was awarded, but no, that's not the case. As King looks to have got the tap out again for the Pies. Looking to find the goals again as a high up and under kick. Can someone get the mark? This time the Casey Demons marking the goals. And Conroy for Casey rushes it through. It'll be a behind. The score is currently 4-3-27. The Pies to Casey 1-4-10.
The kicking back into play wasn't all that great. Xander almost picked it up off the ground for the Pies. Quick hand pass back to Jennifer Guy, who tried to thread the eye of a needle. It was intercepted though by Kendall. Kendall comes away for the Casey Demons. Put it out towards the wing. Bouchard chases after the football. Does well, manages to burn her opponent. Kicks up the line looking for Milford. Will it stay in play? It does. Milford went to ground, then got back up again. Then almost brought down rain with this kick. It's high in the air. Humphreys, shortest player on the ground, goes for the punch. Spalls Velado at the crucial moment. King tries to pick it up and kick it. Does so. Gains about 25 metres. Was heading in the direction of Haslam. Ball in dispute. Umpires come in and said that's too high in that contest. That will be a free kick going the way of the Casey Demons. And ending up with a football there almost on the half-back flank, city side of the ground, and going for the kick is Kendall, and Kendall long up the line, off the hands there of Bouchard, who couldn't quite hang on to it. McAvoy's trying to get in there. Umpire Pins holding the football. Free kick going the way of the Collingwood Magpies.
Gee, did they issue a directive after last night? No one can be sure.
Purcell now goes and gets intercepted by Bouchard. Bouchard now turns it over, going back there. Jennifer Guy chasing after the football. Purcell had Neve McAvoy on her hammer. McAvoy had it, then she got brought to ground. Tell you what, it's tight football, back and forward, back and forward. Pies send it long up the line, city side wing. Going in there and sliding is Kendall and forces the ball over the boundary line and out of bounds. We'll call for a ball in. 17-point lead to the Magpies. Second term action.
Red time-ish. I'm not sure. When they stop the clock, but the ball comes in. King emerges with the footy, almost successfully roved it to, well, I suppose tapped it to the rover, but nothing doing as play continues on the outer side near the BHP logos. And there is the siren. So at half time, it's the Pies 4-3-27 to the D's 1-4-10 here on WRFradio.com. Peter Holden.
Yes, here on WRFradio.com. We should mention you were talking about red time. I would love the last 5 minutes of every quarter to be called Taco Bell time, but Taco Bell, pay up.
I was actually bang on with the time, so around the 20-minute mark it actually worked. So, yeah, it was a gamble to try and figure out how much time was left, and I nailed it, so that's perfect.
Okay, so the goal kickers that we have at the moment, unofficially to half-time, Green, Stratton, Bunker and Barnett for the Magpies. For the Casey Demons, Imogen Milford being their only goal. And again, it's just one of those games for the Casey Demons where they're taking it up to their opponent. You know, by any stretch of the imagination, the scoreboard shows a 17-point lead to Collingwood. Are Collingwood dominating the game? No. But they are making the most of their luck when the ball gets out the back. And is it fair to say luck? Well, then maybe you could say, no, that's a deliberate ploy of them getting it out the back and exposing the Casey Demons and not having a sweeper, someone covering that back 20 or 30, and that's allowing the Pies, with their speed, which we talked about at the start of the game, of Collingwood being a fast team, to expose this.
Yeah, it's fair to say as well that the D's might be in a bit of disarray at the moment, just slowly jogging off compared to the Pies, just strolling off the ground as if, you know, one team's, fair to say, more comfortable than the other.
Well, because if you look across the Casey Demons side and who's performing well, of course we had McAvoy off the ground for several minutes when they fought to the neck and they were worried about a neck injury, and obviously they'd do all the catch and tests and everything that they must do. Humphries is, you know, a former AFLW listed player. She is having a crack, no questions about that. Grace Buckham was showing a lot of class there in that second quarter. Also as well, Nicole Hales was getting on the end of some. We saw Fitzsimmons, we saw Harmony Thomas starting to rack up some possessions as well. Milford having a crack. The captain, Johnson, Bouchard in those last few minutes. They've got players that are stepping up and fighting hard for the ball. Unfortunately at the moment, they're not getting reward for effort. The Collingwood Magpies, they're making the most of their luck. And with that, Abby Green, as we saw, fantastic to see her kick a goal at the moment. Velado's been good so far. Stratton in patches has been good. Xander has been working hard. Marla Neal chasing around everything. Jennifer Guy with some piercing kicks that we saw in the latter stages of that second quarter as well. Richard Barnett at the scoreboard. King has been doing very well in the ruck. If you look at across, both sides have got players that have been stepping up in patches and been doing very well. It's that when the opportunities are there, Collingwood have ticked the boxes.
Yeah, Kalia Haslam just filling in the patches for the Pies every so often, which is just one of those X factor type moments where you just need that player to just sort of clear the air a bit and, you know, play a decent role for your team. So she's another name that's been playing well as well.
It's a strange thing to say, isn't it, for the Casey Demons? It's not like, you know, a team that's down where we're saying, well, will someone step up? Will someone take the game on? They're taking the game on. They're having a crack. Their opportunities are limited. Same with the Pies. They've both had limited opportunities. It's just Casey just has not got much reward for their effort. The only purple patch that they, of course, had was that first 3 or 4 minutes in this second term.
Yeah, their effort's been really good, especially with the rebounds, as I've been saying. They just need to capitalise on one or two, and that's going to be that spark. first time I was on this particular station in WARF radio. I was talking about sparks and how it's important to find that and just build on from there. And so hopefully they can find their spark, and then in turn, if you remember that particular call, go on to find the bash, to find the power surge, and then it's not known to footy, let alone women's footy, get the bash boost point.
Dare I say, the best spark is Lauren Spark of the Western Bulldogs.
That is true. So who knows? I suppose. Mate, is she a Sparky? Not sure.
Hang on.
Hates it. Oh, he had that.
We needed the
He had that plan.
We needed the
He
trombone.
had that plan.
That means we definitely need a half-time break, and we need a coffee from somewhere, believe me. Half-time, the Collingwood Magpies 4-3-27, the Casey Demons 1-4-10. We'll be back on the other side of this.
There are plenty of classic hits radio stations, but this is where GoRadio.live is different. We unashamedly select the best music from our chosen era. We develop programs that provide the music with minimal interruption. For many hours of the day, you won't hear any announcers, just great music and the occasional station ID. We let the music play through until the end, no crossfades and no announcers talking over the start and end of tracks. We think you're going to love GoRadio.live, radio as it should be. Check it out at www.goradio.live or download the free app from Google Play or the App Store.
The mate with the high-tech Bluetooth fish finder, but not a life jacket. You know the type. So when enjoying the water, make the right call to keep your mates safe. Make sure they wear a life jacket. A message from your mates at Royal Lifesaving.
How often should you wash your hands?
Maybe around 9 times a day. 4?
Like 20?
Maybe twice a day.
Whenever they feel dirty.
When should you wash your hands?
After you touch some raw meat and before starting to eat. At the beginning, I wash my hands before preparing food.
How would you rate your knowledge of food safety?
Probably like an 8 out of 10. 6 or 7.
7.5?
Learn more at foodsafety.asn.au/food safety training. Food safety, it's in your hands.
Hi, I'm Natalie Armat from NITV. Neighbour Day on March 28 is a national celebration of community. It's a day that reminds us why having strong social connections is so good, not only for our well-being, but for those around us. It brings together people from next door, the local community, or even online. But the real strength is in us knowing that Neighbour Day isn't just one day, it's every day. Visit neighbourday.org for events and information.
Neighbour Day is a program of Relationships Australia. No business wants to throw money away. But did you know sending resources to landfill can be more expensive than recycling them? Planet Ark's free business recycling service can kickstart your workplace recycling journey, help you find the right recycling solutions and give you a competitive edge. Join the 1 million Australians using business recycling to keep valuable resources in circulation. Visit businessrecycling.com.au. It's just good business.
Been playing for a while. Sweet kicks. This footy makes you smile. Sweet kicks football. If you're getting ready for the trials, gotta go the extra mile. Sweet kicks football.
Not always hearing that sweet sound when you kick the ball? Need to develop your footwork or explosive speed? Want to take the next step in your footy career? Then you need Sweet Kicks. More info on our Facebook.
The sound I hate is silence in the pool. When a child drowns, you hear nothing. No splashing, no cries for help. Be vigilant around water. Fence the pool, shut the gate. I teach your kids to swim, it's great. Supervise, watch your mate, and learn how to resuscitate. I'm Laurie Lawrence. Kids Alive, do the 5.
Hi, this is Missy Higgins for RAD, recording artists, actors and athletes against drink driving.
I see a lot of things at gigs, mostly people having a good time and a few drinks. But what I'd hate to see is someone getting behind the wheel after they'd been drinking. Being even a little bit over the limit makes it too easy to lose control. So if you plan to drink, plan ahead. Arrange a designated driver who won't drink. Remember, music lives and you should too.
There's jumpers, hoodies, and tees for you at leaguetees.com.au.
LeagueTees.com.au is your place for retro footy gear with designs created by local artists that you won't find anywhere else. Plus, their unique range of women's footy tees help raise funds for Indigenous literacy programs. Get online and start shopping today.
leaguetees.com.au.
Could you recognise if one of your friends or family was having a stroke? Think fast.
F. Face.
Check their face. Has their mouth drooped?
A. Arms.
Can they lift both arms?
S. Speech.
Is their speech slurred or confused?
T. Time.
Don't wait. Call 000 now. Think fast. Act fast.
A message from the National Stroke Foundation.
Draft Central is entering a new era, covering all the state leagues, from the VFLW, Sample W, Waffle W and Quaffle W, as well as their primary focus, the NAB League Girls. Draft Central has you covered when it comes to all you need to know about the future stars of the AFL Women's. Draft Central, brought to you by Rookie Me, is now on YouTube, so be sure to subscribe at Draft Central, as well as on our Facebook, Twitter and Instagram pages at Draft Central Oz.
We are the Australian Literacy and Numeracy Foundation, striving to empower our most marginalised communities through literacy and education. Literacy is having a voice. Literacy is opportunity. Literacy is dreaming big. Literacy is freedom. Today, you can help end inequality and give every child access to our life-changing and proven literacy programs. Your support is vital. Donate now at alnf.org.
Hi, Matt Welsh here. In Australia, drowning is one of the biggest killers of kids under 5. So take a few minutes to check your pool barrier set for this summer. Visit kidsafe.com.au to find out how. Because safe barriers save lives.
A tough time doesn't excuse abusive behaviour at home. Even in crisis, there's no place for domestic or family violence. If you, your family or community is affected, help is available online and by phone 24/7. For free, confidential advice, support and counselling for everyone, contact 1-800-RESPECT. There's no place for domestic or family violence. Help is here. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
It's women's Aussie rules, they're doing what they love. They're fast, they're tough, don't mess with them cause they can get rough. Are you ready for the challenge? Are you ready for the match? It's the call of the game. It's the VFL Women's Match of the Day. It's the VFL Women's Match of the Day.
On WARFradio.com and on the VFLW YouTube stream, you're listening to the VFL Women's Match of the Day. It is Collingwood versus the Casey Demons, and at halftime, Collingwood 4-3-27 lead the Casey Demons 1-4-10. Unofficially, we have goal kickers for Collingwood as Green, Stratton, Bunker and Barnett. For the Casey Demons, their only goal kicker is Milford. Peter Holton and John O'Ven with you here at Victoria Park, and we'll be back again in about 2 hours' time out at VU Whitten Oval as we bring you alongside James Halley and Katie Lambeski the game between the Western Bulldogs and Geelong Cats on air at 1 o'clock, bounce down at 2 p.m. That game will also be video streamed, and I should point out as well that game will also be relayed through our partners at GoFooty.live, and will be on air again tomorrow morning. Myself, Brent Sternberg and Alex Doherty out at the hangar in Essendon 9 p.m. Sunday morning to bring you the game between Essendon and Port Melbourne, and there will also be a video stream of North Melbourne and Williamstown with John O'Ven and Elise Collette 12 o'clock tomorrow afternoon at Arden Street in more comfier conditions for you up there in the box.
Yes, indeed, but hopefully the weather improves, just a little bit more as well, so the conditions are more favourable for the players as well. And as the grass starts to dry up a bit, I know, or at least I feel that perhaps this afternoon the conditions are going to be a lot better when the actual surface is considered, because it looked like absolute carpet last night when, the Western Bulldogs played Richmond last night in the AFLW.
Indeed, as we see the Casey Demons are all in a huddle. The Collingwood Magpies just doing a few handball drills before they get ready to begin this second half of action. Crowd at the moment, a modest, I would say, if you went and did a head count, 60 to 70 people. And again, the crowd number being affected today by a number of things. One, the rain was bucketing down just before 8 o'clock this morning, so a few people and some commentators wanted to say, I might just stay home in bed this morning. And also for the fact that the Melbourne supporters that would normally follow the Casey Demons, they may be going, okay, well, we've got the very long trek down to Casey Fields, and they'll be focused on that for 3 p.m. in the AFLW between the D's and the Lions. Casey Fields in Cranbourne East.
It's good to see one of the Demon Army cult figures in Sean Ducks down here supporting. He took a few snaps and posted to his social media, so it's good to see that the support is well and truly still there for the VFLW counterparts that the Demons have.
I do have an around the ground score at half time from the Southern Saints and Darebin match being played at Sandringham. And the Southern Saints 3-8-26 lead Darebin 1-1-7. Goals for the Southern Saints, I hope I get that right. So Ao, Bahana and Capsalis.
Yeah, Sawalo. Yep.
Sawalo, thank you very much. And for Darebin, Callie Dupaquet kicked their only goal so far. That is at half time, 26-7, Saints leading Darebin.
So the play starts, we're about 20 seconds in and not much doing it in the first 20 seconds, but things are shaping up to be a good contest for the second half. The tackle was laid by Hallett for the Pies as the ball goes to ground. Umpire circling, says no, I'll have it. And here we're off to a bit of a shaky start here in the second half, but looks to be a good game nonetheless. So play restarts and the Pies kick forward. Chasing it was Bunker as she advances forward for the Pies, but the ball goes past two players as the ball's in a bit of a scrap now, and the umpire will have the footy balling it up about 48 metres out from goal. Here's Peter Holden.
It's going to be Karras going up in the ruck contest this time for the Casey Demons, beaten out by King. Stratton took the ball immediately, got caught, got a little hand pass away, trying to bust the way through there, Johnson. Umpires just circling and allowing it to go on before eventually saying there is no prior opportunity, and will ask for the football back. 17-point lead to Collingwood over the Casey Demons here at Victoria Park. Early stages, third term. Umpire throws the ball up in the air. One out by Karras. Neil tried to come on the way through. Maybe being held without it was Horn. Umpire said it was fair. You can play on. Bouchard goes in there. Umpire says, pulling of the jumper. That will be a free kick to Bouchard for the Casey Demons. Draws the player. Gives the little hand pass off. Here's the long kick by Kendall going down the line towards the half-forward flank position. Bounced off the chest of the intended teammate rather. Fairchild jumped in there. Also as well was Imogen Milford. And again, we'll call for another ball up. The crane in the background for those watching via the VFLW YouTube stream. We'll reset it between centre and centre half forward. High in the air it goes. Harris knocked it down. Immediately caught there Purcell. And again, we're going to have another stoppage. And it's the one thing, of course, that we talked about in the pre-game show with Chloe McMillan, the Collingwood coach. We were anticipating quite a number of stoppages today in these conditions.
Yeah, there's definitely a few patches on this broadcast side wing as we've talked about, but definitely the same on the outer side as play continues. Collingwood will emerge with a kick towards the midfield to no one in particular, but chasing it was a Casey player in number 36, which was Nicole Hales, and cricket was paid. It was holding the ball to the Pies, and taking the free kick is Trisha Cowan. So Cowan inside 50. Was very close to hitting Barnett on the chest, but she collects the ball with the second effort, then gets tackled. Holding the ball is the call. Barnett cops it up. And having the ball from the back line. Here's the Casey player kicking to the outer side wing. Looking to continue that circle work type of pattern. Johnson. The Casey Demons. So here's Johnson kicking truly to Buchan, who takes a strong mark. Hand passes off. The Demons go inside 50. Can they find an opportunity to just sneak one out? Body's on the ground here. Umpire looks to be holding the ball. I think she dived on it, the player from the Pies. So, and 50 metres as well. Must have been abuse.
Or that, or not giving the ball back directly to the player.
Or that too. Ball's a bit hard to see. Red pill like a life, but anyway. So here's Imogen Milford. Got the ball directly in front. No particular sand rule, I don't think, in VFLW, but all players are just looking to potentially put her off. So here's Milford for a second. Milford kicks, and kicks truly. So Milford now has 2, as the Demons go to 2-4-16, trailing the Pies 4-3-27. Peter Holden.
Here on WARFradio.com and the VFLW YouTube stream. Peter Holden and John O'Ven with you here at Victoria Park, Abbotsford. As Imogen Milford has kicked the only goal so far for the Casey Demons, but it's one that they needed. I think the first goal from a set shot today, so most of the other opportunities have been on the run. Umpire with the ball back in the middle of the ground to restart the play. King versus Karras. Karras wins it down, trying to get there as Fitzsimon. Hurried hand pass out, intercepted by the Pies and Bilardo. Ball ricocheted. Buchan was waiting on the outside, couldn't get it to her. Originally trying to kick it off the ground was Kirkwood. Fairchild trying to get a hand pass off, picked off by Stratton. Stratton with a hurried hand pass, and immediately running into trouble was Purcell. Managed to get a kick away. Barely got the 15, but the umpire pays the mark to Haslam. Haslam goes on the left boot, finds Emmond out there with space. Emmond's got plenty of space, and Simmons chasing after her. Emmond now turns around on the right boot, goes inside 50. It's a pie floater. Coming in there to try and spoil it is Meg McDonald for the Casey Demons. Brought it to the ground. Fairchild tried to go in there and lay a tackle. Guy comes out with the football, put her on their left boot, dribble it inside 50. Chasing it after this is Colburn Veal. Colburn Veal is mown down from behind. And the umpire says, blows the whistle. High. Free kick going the way of Cara Colburn Veal. And she will have an opportunity for a set shot on goal. 35 metres out, 45-degree angle, kicking towards the Sharon stand end. So Collingwood a chance to nullify that set shot goal by Milford just over a minute earlier. It will be Cara Colburn Veal with a slow approach. Comes in on the right, keeps it low, and he floated over everyone else. And I think Christy Stratton was just there minding her own business and went, oh, footy, thanks.
Thanks very much indeed.
Stratton comes in, bang on the left boot, no problems, 5 metres out in the 45-degree angle. She gets her second of the morning, and Collingwood moved to 5-3-33. Casey Demons 2-4-16.
6 minutes and 50 seconds gone by here on WARFradio.com. And yeah, Collingwood just kicking away to their heart's content almost. I mean, you know, you look at how easily Stratton got that. That's how easy they're treating this game at the moment.
I know we banged on about it at half-time, but that'll be something that'll be brought up in the review today for Casey. Not the dribbling goals, but just that easy mark there. It'll be like, what are we doing in that last 10, 20 metres? Collingwood have either created space on this occasion, an easy mark to Stratton. That's that kind of zone, that last 20 metres is where Casey's falling down, and it's where it's hurting them today.
So 5-6-5 formation set as Karras and King go up again as they have. And this time the Rove is won by the number 60 in Jennifer Guy. She's been really good today. As Collingwood try and just keep on just tuning on as they have been doing today. So it was Christy Stratton just trying to get involved once again, but couldn't quite as she sort of floats down and looks for a repeat of the previous goal. But whistle's gone, and it's going to be a free kick to Casey. Just on the outer side pocket.
McDonald.
So here's McDonald. She kicks. No one in particular, as the contest is quite fierce at the moment near the Toyota logos. And looks to be a stalemate. Umpire circling. What's he going to do? No, he calls play on as the ball emerges. And it's floating towards the boundary as Velardo tries to get involved for the Pies, but here's the Casey Demons trying to rebound and kick into open space, but here they come. And a bit of a tussle, so will they merge with the footy, but no, as the Collingwood player tries to tackle and bring her to ground. She does successfully, but the umpire circling, looks to pay on the ball. Yep, that's exactly what's going to happen. Collingwood are looking really good as they get a free kick once again.
Yeah, it was McAvoy caught by Mifsud and has the football on the half-back flank. Gets going on the right boot. Stabs at it, bounces up towards the wing position. Karras, like a giraffe trying to pick a grape off the floor, had to try and reach down and get that one, and somehow it bounced off of her to the advantage of Fitzsimon. Oh, what a mark!
She got high.
40 metres out from goal, and taking that one, Imogen Milford. Kicked 2 so far today. Will be looking for a third. This is going to test her. When she puts boot to ball, she'll be kicking from 48 metres out on the 45-degree angle, kicking towards the eastern end of the ground. Imogen Milburn unloads on the right, got the distance, does not have the accuracy. In fact, it went through the hands at the last moment of Neve McAvoy, away to the right-hand side, minus score. 2-5-17, the Casey Demons. Collingwood Magpies 5-3-33 here on WAFRadio.com. They go short to the back pocket. Mark taken, offering a lead. There is Jackson, too close to the boundary line for the player to go to. And Velardo instead will have to try and square it up, managing to find Jennifer Guy. Guy now works it sideways, finding Zander. Matilda Zander with the football, gets on the right boot, has a player on here in the middle, middle of the centre wing position. That makes sense, probably not. Down the centre wing, now goes long and up the ground. Finds Green, now has the football, she's outside 50, gets on the right boot, pumps it long to the hot spot, nobody home. And Nicole Hale says, I know I used to play for Collingwood, but you really shouldn't be kicking it to me. And she will take it away for the Casey Demons. Sells the candy as well. Trisha Cowan fell for it. Goes long looking for Karras. Went through the hands of Karras. Ball hit the deck. Everyone wants to jump in there for a piece of the action. Bouchard fighting hard for the Demons. And the umpire says it's time to ball it up. 2-5-17 Casey Demons. Collingwood 5-3-33.
Don't think it's possible to split the Sharon into 20 equal pieces as they tried to split the footy just there. So the ball restart. Sorry, the play restarts in the number 65 before the Pies, and Jackson tries to get involved there. And players are on the ground. Solid tackle there laid by Fairchild, but the umpire says, I'll have it. And who's up as well, looking for nominations as per normal. So the tap out was won by King and landed in the hands of Caitlin Bunker, but she was dragged to ground. So there is Humphries for Casey trying to push it forward and just get a little bit of a spark going that they need. On the back of a terrible dad joke that I tried to make just before the half-time break. Here's Peter Holt. Yeah, exactly. That probably deserves it too, as he has a little bit of a smile on his face. Play restarts here. The tap down was won by Karras, and yeah, things just float around the centre of the ground. And
Kirkwood with the football. Yep, we'll take it on the right boot, go towards the centre forward position. Milford got a little nudge from behind. Velardo going with her. Milford managed to try and get a hurried little hand pass out. Was pickpocketed in the end. Jumping in there is Kirkwood. Now got it inside the forward 50. Milford chasing after it, so is Neve McAvoy. Close towards the boundary line. Will Grant get there first? Everyone goes to ground. It's struggling to keep the feed out there at the moment. And we should mention the rain stopped about a good 2 hours ago. Velardo and Fairchild. Little scoop throw there if you don't mind. Quickly across to Bouchard, who kicked it around the corner but was wide of the right-hand point post and out of bounds on the full. 2-5-17 Casey Demons. 5-3-33 for the Collingwood Magpies here at Victoria Park. WARFradio.com. Mark taken there by Bunker. He'll go for a bit of a run. Caitlin Bunker On the left boot going up the line, taking the mark nicely on the chest is Mifsud. Mifsud takes it in front of where the crane is in the background for those that are watching on the YouTube stream. Dropping and getting it back again, Imogen Barnett. Had to go backwards to Neil. Neil with a little toe poker on the left boot. Works out okay. Here come the Pies building again on the centre wing, outer side of the ground. Green said, thank you very much. 2 bites of the cherry and I'll pull it in. Now goes to take on the play on the mark. Doesn't go for the kick, goes for the long hand pass instead. One step kick by Barnett going inside 50. Ball brought to ground. That was good roving work. Hurry little kick there by Colburn. Veal will come off hands and it was away to the left-hand side of the goalpost as well.
See, there it is. The Casey Demons need to mark the line. Nobody's home. That could have gone horribly wrong for the Casey Demons.
5-4-34 Collingwood. Casey Demons 2-5-17.
So here is Kendall kicking out. Kicks to the paint. Doesn't get to anyone in particular as the Collingwood player, the D's player sucks it off the ground. Milford tries to get involved. She's been solid today, but it'll land in the hands of Elizabeth Jackson. As Jennifer Guy chases the footy, tries to gather, can't, as Casey try and launch a counter-attack, but the mark is taken by Caitlin Bunker. She's been super great today as well. So on the broadcast side wing, Bunker inside 50. Can someone get the mark? No, unfortunately not, as Green tries to get involved for the Pies, as the ball goes down to ground and the umpire says I'll have it. So it's looking ominous here for the Pies. They look to go for another goal. Here's Peter Holden.
Here on WARFradio.com, ball is thrown up in the air. Abby Green took it immediately out of the ruck and then went to ground. Back in with a hurry kick away there was Winbanks for the KC Demons. Just barely gets outside their back 50. Harmony Thomas had the ball on the deck, couldn't quite pick it up. She ended up having to jump in and lay a tackle on Rebecca Grant. Umpire said it was in the back. Apparently it wasn't Rebecca Grant, it was Georgia Ricardo. Ricardo with the football. Gets the call to play on. Ricardo in the light blue boots now kicks it long inside 50. Backing back is Nicole Hales. And she takes the mark for the KC Demons in front of the Sharon stand back pocket. So he looks to go with a short little kick and getting a bump as she took the mark there. It was Laura Johnston. Johnson gets up, feeling a little worse for wear, copying that one from Colburn Veal. Johnson with the football. On the right boot, elects to go up the line, gains about 35 metres. Winbanks trying to force her way through the pack. Ball got out the back door. Thomas goes in there. Umpire says high, free kick going the way of the Collingwood Magpies. So they'll have the opportunity here through Bunker to have another crack inside 50. Bunker trying to give herself some space. Runs around Humphreys. Gets on the left boot. Almost found the intended target. Just bounced off her chest. Hurry little hand pass away. Coming through the player in McDonald, who kicks it up the line for the KC Demons. To the wing broadcast side. Over the head of Milford. Ferguson waiting out the back. Look left, look right. Then got on the right boot. Goes with a little chip kick. Works out okay. Just on the defensive side of centre. Mark taken by Rebecca Grant. Grant now goes on the right boot, chasing after the football's Matilda Zander. Fairchild going with her. Zander gets a little hand pass away. Pies with the opportunity now to go inside 50. Jumping for the football was Trisha Cowan, but it was taken away there in the end by Sammy Johnson. Finds Neve McAvoy. Neve McAvoy, defensive side of the centre circles. Tries to hit Milford on the chest. Drop the football between centre and centre half forward. Hit the deck. Everyone wants to jump in there like it's a party. Rebecca Grant comes in and everyone says, look, you're going nowhere. We'll call for the ball up and reset play. 5-4-34 Collingwood. KC Demons 2-5-17 third quarter action.
17 minutes gone, just ticking over as the ball goes up and play restarts. It's going to be, I think it was a ruck infringement.
Yep. And
the free kick will be taken by Winbanks. So Winbanks kicks and the tussle is well and truly alive for the Casey Demons, but then the Pies player goes to ground as players circle, and so is the umpire. He's always looking to pay, holding the ball when they circle like that. If you're watching on the YouTube stream, nothing eventuates and the rucks go at it. So King and Winbanks here. As the ball goes to ground, plenty of that in wet weather footy. Umpire continues to circle as play continues for the moment. And it's going to be another ball up. So it's, I think the nature of the Victoria Park deck is we're going to see plenty of patches appearing up around the ground from the ones that we had originally. Play continues.
King was the one that brought it to ground. Buchan is watching on, so is Liza West. And eventually the umpire says, I have to break this up. And Johnson helps her teammate in Fitzsimon off the bottom of the deck, and will restart play one more time. You've got a feeling the Casey Demons do need to kick one just before three-quarter time to A, give them some momentum and just keep that window of opportunity open for them to try and steal this match. Taken away there by Stratton originally. The long kick by the Pies inside 50 is cut off by Nicole Hales, and Hales will switch towards the wing position on the City side of the ground. Bounced off the chest of Simmons, who had to go back and get it again. Swung around on the boot, kicked it back towards the direction she came from, which was the City side wing position. Hands on hips with frustration, Emma Humphreys. The ball is locked in, and we call for another ball up. In the shadows of the three-quarter time siren, we're on WARFradio.com. We wait for the ball to be thrown up, and we'll go again. Harris beats out King on that occasion. Was picked off, though, by Elizabeth Jackson coming through. Got into heavy traffic. Umpire says that's high. That will be a free kick going the way of the Pies. Getting up and feeling a little worse for wear there. The 91 in Demi Hallett.
Definitely not much time left for the Casey Demons to rebound and score a goal. There's just over 30 seconds to go. Holding the ball about 70 metres out from goal, but time's going to stop as there's a Collingwood player down on the ground. She's clutching her knee. Knees up. Double whistle. Time is off for the moment.
Was clutching the knee, then clutched the shoulder, then clutched everything else. I think she just might be saying, I'm just feeling hurt.
A bit stiff here and there.
Tricia Cowan.
Thanks for that. So, with just over 10 seconds to go.
Mind you, also coming off the ground in the hands of the trainers there. Looks like it might be, is that Kirkwood there for the Demons? I saw a 3. I'm not quite sure if it's Kirkwood or McDonald.
So Kirkwood sent, not Kirkwood. It was Kendall sending a kick towards the outer side.
Kirkwood's off the ground for the Casey Demons in the hands of the trainers.
Yes, indeed. So that is three-quarter time here at Victoria Park on WARF Radio. The score 5-4-34 the Pies, 2-5-17 to the Casey Demons. Your thoughts, Peter Holden?
Well, it's not a good sign. Like just spotting, as we said, Kirkwood going. They're taking her to the rooms as well, which I'm not going to pretend to know what injury that she's got. We've clearly missed it. But Kirkwood, if she's going down the rooms, which suggests might not be taking any further part today. So to be one player down in the rotation, and they're 17 points down. This is a big ask for them, that they've got to kick 3 goals. It is probable. Remember, they had those 3 scoring shots in the space of 3 minutes against Collingwood in the opening stages of that second quarter. That's the same end of the ground that they'll be going to, but they've got to be clean as a whistle, and again, they can't allow Collingwood to make the most of their opportunities, which we've seen today, where we've been talking about with the Casey Demons, that back 10-20 metres where they haven't been watching it well at all today, and the things that are 50-50 coin flips have gone for Collingwood's way. The Casey Demons have got to make sure everything goes right. Like we said, it's possible for them. That scoring end is the Sharon stand. But, as we said, everything got to go absolutely right, including when you got one player down. You can see Borchardt starting to come into the game a bit. Got to see a little bit more of her. Milford's starting to present well. Again, this is the scoring end. So if Milford can get on the end of 2, I reckon 2 goals from her and they're a show. We're seeing, obviously, Humphreys has been putting in a lot. McAvoy maybe a little bit quieter in that quarter as well. Fairchild has been going more and more and more. Fairchild, they've got to see at least something come out of it. Winbanks is starting to step up. There are a few players that had been quiet in that first half that are coming into the game for the Casey Demons, but again, making the most of their opportunities. Unfortunately, in that term, they didn't get as many as Collingwood, and Collingwood just continue to make the most of theirs.
Anything can happen in a 20-minute game of footy, but plan would be likely for Collingwood to just ice the clock as much as they can, get the stoppages up, and even though the conditions are slightly getting a lot better as the sky almost tries to open up.
What Casey would have to be worried about is Abby Green started to find a bit of confidence in that quarter, and because she's a tall, there's 2 ways that they can play Abby Green with Collingwood. They can either play her out of the forward line, or because she's such a big unit, if Casey do start to get a bit of momentum going, they can drop someone like a Green with her height into the back line to say, right, just be there to spoil everything.
Let's look at around the grounds just briefly. So Southern Say is playing Carabin, as we mentioned earlier, and they've just kicked away to a massive margin as the fourth quarter has just started. So Southern Saints 6-12-48 leading the Darabin Falcons 117.
Oh dear, it is a long, long season for the Darabin Falcons, no doubt. We'll take this opportunity to take a break at three-quarter time. Collingwood 5-4-34, Casey Demons 2-5-17.
Hey Gary, what time do you call this? Yeah, the traffic was really bad. Oh, there's Steve-o. G'day, Steve.
Morning.
How's your weekend?
Same old, same old.
What'd you get up to?
Not much.
Are you okay, mate?
Looking out for one another is something we all need to do. So if a mate's struggling, ask, are you okay? Listen, encourage action, and check in again soon. Those 4 steps could change their life. Find out more at ruok.org.au.
Draft Central is entering a new era, covering all the state leagues, from the VFLW, SANFL-W, WAFL-W and QAFL-W, as well as their primary focus, the NAB League Girls. Draft Central has you covered when it comes to all you need to know about the future stars of the AFL Women's. Draft Central, brought to you by Rookie Me, is now on YouTube, so be sure to subscribe at Draft Central, as well as on our Facebook, Twitter and Instagram pages at Draft Central Odds.
The average person spends 44 minutes a day thinking about food. At Oz Harvest, thinking about food is a full-time job because we're always looking for new ways to nourish our country and combat food waste and hunger. Every day, we rescue quality surplus food across Australia and deliver it to those who'd otherwise go hungry. And you can help. Every dollar donated to Oz Harvest can provide 2 meals to people in need. Visit ozharvest.org. Thought for food.
Hi, I'm Natalie Armat from NITV. Neighbour Day on March 28 is a national celebration of community. It's a day that reminds us why having strong social connections is so good, not only for our well-being, but for those around us. It brings together people from next door, the local community, or even online. But the real strength is in us knowing that Neighbour Day isn't just one day, it's every day. Visit neighbourday.org for events and information.
Neighbour Day is a program of Relationships Australia.
Hi, Matt Welsh here. In Australia, drowning is one of the biggest killers of kids under 5. So take a few minutes to check your pool barrier set for this summer. Visit kidsafe.com.au to find out how. Because safe barriers save lives.
It's the VFL Women's Match of the Day.
On WARFradio.com and the VFLW YouTube stream, this is the VFL Women's Match of the Day. It is Collingwood versus the Casey Demons, and the Magpies lead at three-quarter time. 5-4-34, the Casey Demons 2-5-17. Unofficially our goal kickers at three-quarter time. 2 to Stratton, singles to Green, Bunker and Barnett. For the Casey Demons, both of their goals have been kicked by Imogen Milford. Peter Holton alongside Jono Venn. Slight difference, yours truly, probably about 650 games experience. Jono Venn debut on play-by-play today. And we should mention as well, Jono doing a fantastic effort. Literally has only just eyeballed the team sheet when he came to the ground because our other commentators got struck down with the Windy Hill flu this morning and pulled out at 7:45. And Jono got the call at 8 o'clock saying, can you be at the ground for the 10 a.m. bounce?
It's going to be really good, touching on that, to actually study the team sheets in depth for this afternoon's game as we drive up to Whitten Oval. I'm looking forward to that very much.
Yes, indeed. The Bulldogs and Geelong Cats will be on air at 1 o'clock for that one. And for those that stay on our radio stream at WARFradio.com, to take you up to that game, we'll have a 1-hour interview with former Collingwood AFLW footballer Emma Grant immediately after this match. Taken away by the Casey Demons, immediately out in the middle of the ground by Johnson. Kick long inside 50, came off hands. Lurking around the pack there is Simmons. She wants it over the top. Also there is Harmony Thomas, who had to put the brakes on. Thomas for an early one for the Demons. Oh, it's late to the right. Jesus, if it went to a little more to the left and went through the big sticks, it would have got the party started. But still, that's a sign of intent from the Casey Demons. 2-6-18. Collingwood Magpies by 4-34.
A sign of intent indeed. As the ball goes to the outer side wing. And the Pies just looking to rebound as they've done all day. Who can take a mark? It's going to be Barnett. She's going to have a shot on goal. No, so she decides to play on. Who's in there? Unmarked goal square this time. And a soccer off the ground from Xander.
Olé!
You know what? It doesn't matter about what code we're playing because you can play this play any way you want when the ball's up in the air like that. And that was an excellent kick there.
6-4-40 the Collingwood Magpies. Casey Demons 2-6-18. Ouch, ouch, ouch for the Casey Demons. They've obviously opened up the game more because they've got to take the risk to try and get in front. Now you look going, oh geez, Thomas kicked the goal, but now the point and they send it back and now the margin's out. Frustrations for Demon supporters at the moment going, oh dear, what could have been? They missed, it's what today's been. Casey Demons have missed their opportunities. Collingwood have made the most of their opportunities. That's the only thing that's really divided these teams apart in what has been a pretty tough affair. Going in there is Fairchild. Can't get the football out. Got Neil on her hammer. Still trying to do the soccer skills off the ground. Valana going in there with Harmony Thomas. Purcell chasing after the football as well. Overran it. Fairchild comes in to lay the tackle. Works out well. Holds up the ball. Umpire says, I'll take it back. So we're between centre and centre half forward, getting close towards that city side wing. Throw it up in the air. Karras knocked it down. Tackle laid on immediately by Fitzsimon. Umpire comes in and says, I'm feeling a little insecure or a bit cold because he hugs himself. We'll call for a ball up.
Zoomed in a bit there and thought he was about to signal holding the ball, but that's not. That didn't eventuate. So the ball goes up and ball goes straight back down as there's a bit of a scrum again. There's been plenty of those scrums today. Umpire circling. Has someone dived on the ball? By the looks of it, no, it hasn't, as the ball re-emerges from out the back. And here the Pies come once again. So, to midfield and broadcast side. Players go at it. The numbers a bit hard to see as they don't turn around sometimes. But collecting the ball is Imogen Milford. Gee, she's been the shining light for Casey today. Players just need to follow along with her. McAvoy handles to her teammate, who kicks perfectly to Milford, who's followed in from the second. Sorry, followed in with the second effort. Gee, that was good, Peter Holden.
How good has Milford been today? At least presenting, been a shining light up forward. Hasn't had the most of opportunities, and like with an earlier set shot, it is very difficult from a long distance out in heavy conditions today.
So here's Milford lining up for her third goal. It's on its way. And goes across the face. It'll be a boundary throw in on the right hand goalpost side down at the Sharon stand end.
We wait for the ball to be thrown back into play. At the moment, it is a 22-point lead to Collingwood over the Casey Demons. Spinning back into play. Milford will do the ruck work. Does so from behind with O'Connor. Going in there is Marla Neal, and the umpire says it's going nowhere. I'll ask for the football back, please. So we're 35 metres out from the Casey Demons goal. Once again, it will be Imogen Milford who's going to go up in the contest versus O'Connor, who brought it to the ground. Neal got the roving work, kicked it hurriedly. Karras is waiting there. Oh, the bounce was cruel for her, though. And Xander came through and kicked it long out towards the wing on the city side of the ground. Slapping it in front is Imogen Barnett. Barnett goes to pick up the football. Got mown down from behind. And the umpire says G-O-N-E, gone. Free kick to the way of the Casey Demons. And taking that is Emma Horn. Horn is going to work sideways. Buchan will take it now on the half-back flank. Buchan, it got picked off by Barnett. Almost picked out her perfectly. I wonder if she heard a familiar voice and went, oops, hang on, I don't play for you guys anymore. As Barnett now has the football. 60 metres out from home. Pumps it long inside 50. Almost ricocheted off the shin there of Stratton. Stratton had to jump in there. McDonald as well. And the umpire says stalemate. We'll call for the ball up. 25 metres out from the Pies goal. One more and you think that's all she wrote.
So 5 minutes and 17 seconds gone in this final term here at Victoria Park. Ball goes to ground, lands in the hands of the Casey player about 12 metres out from goal, but the umpire says I'll have it. Collingwood look to kick away and just land that final blow here. At their spiritual home, ball goes up. Roving was sort of successful, if not for the fact that the player was tackled, the Collingwood player, as the ball goes towards goal, but picked off by the Casey player in, I think it was Conroy. But the ball's going to go out, and it'll be a boundary throw in, about 45 metres out from goal, I think. So, ball gets thrown in as Peter said, spinning. King tries to get a successful tap out, but it lands in the hands of her Casey opponent. Plays circle. Fairchild's under it, but it's going to be another ball up. No, it's not going to be another ball up. It's going to be a free kick. Should have said so. Here is Guy. Guy kicks inside 50 for the Pies. Almost picked off by the Casey opponent. Nobody's in the square again. Who kicked that? It was Christy Stratton. Apologies. As nobody was marking the line yet again, Peter Holt.
Well, Stratton, 3 goals today. Good effort, and Collingwood move out to 7-4-46. The Casey Demons 2-6-18. The game well and truly shot now for the Demons. The Pies at this rate will now continue their unbeaten streak as we hit the Easter break. Just a reminder for everyone, no VFLW action next week. Competition bye for the Easter. And of course, we will be back on Saturday, April 10th with round 6 action. And hopefully soon the remainder of the fixture will be released for the VFLW. So we can tell you games ahead of that. As we throw the ball up in the air again, Karis beat out King on that occasion. Karis got her own football back, then went for the hand pass in the air, then got punched with the left hand by Fitzsimon into heavy traffic, and the umpire says it's all locked up. We'll call for a ball up at the centre half forward position for the Demons. Bouchard being caught there. Umpire throws it high in the air. Karis wins it down. Just going through there is Johnson, try to put on the outside of her right boot. Wanted to kick it off the ground, Fitzsimon going towards the pocket, now being picked up by Imogen Purcell of the Pies. She got mown down. Fairchild goes in there as well to lay the tackle. Hurried little hand pass came out. West has a crack at it for the Demons as well. Johnson just bounces off the pack. She goes to ground now. Fighting hard for it there was Neve O'Connor. Hurried little hack job kick out by the Pies. Ends up working out well. It bounces towards the centre wing broadcast side. Waiting back there was Nicole Hales. Had a teammate for support. There's Kendall. Kendall tries to go with a little hand pass working sideways. Chasing after the football, Johnson. Does well to harass her Collingwood opponent. There was Cowan who tried to get a hand pass. All over the top there is Emma Humphreys. Almost rode her opponent rodeo style. Almost a full 7 seconds. Going in there was Kendall, and the umpire says, no dice, going nowhere. Ricardo, give the ball back to me and I'll ball it up right in front of our broadcast position.
So Rucks go at it as they have all day, and just didn't really bother to tap the footy there. But here's McAvoy out the back for Casey. Almost getting the mark there was Purcell for the Pies, but nothing eventuates there. As the kick for the Pies doesn't do much either, as McAvoy tries to gather, but it was immediately wrapped up by Marla Neal, I think it was, for the Pies. And it's going to be another ball up here, about 60 metres out from the Sharon stand-in goal. So, ball goes up once again, as we predicted earlier in pre-game, and scrums everywhere as well. But here's Casey trying to find that one last roll of the dice. West tried for Casey, but Johnson gathers and kicks towards goal. And wow.
You're kidding. You are kidding.
Absolutely joking. Got absolutely no words to say, but it looks as if Samantha Johnson has dribble kicked it, and it's a goal.
Well, there's a long chat between the field umpire and the goal.
It was Milford, I think it was.
Milford, yes.
Wow. So Milford just suckering it perfectly in that dribble. It was dribble and spiral mix.
There was a long chat between the field umpire and the goal umpire saying, did it clip the goalpost at all on the way through? What do you think? And the goal umpire saying, no, I'm 100% certain that was a goal. So all of a sudden for the Casey Demons, they move to 3-6-24. The Collingwood Magpies 7-4-46. So maybe there's a heartbeat there for the Casey Demons.
10.5 minutes gone. Final term here at Victoria Park. And oh gee, that was a special goal, wasn't it? Far out.
Here on WARFradio.com, Peter Holt and John O'Venn here with you. Umpire doing the 5-6-5 count. Here's a memo from the crowd. Get on with it as he throws the football up in the air. King versus Karras, both miss it. Taken immediately out of the ruck by Stratton, who kicks it. towards the half-forward flank position. Might go back again, Stratton says, I'll just do the work myself. Fairchild jumps in there. Almost caught one in the back. Umpire ignores it as Emin was riding her. And the umpire says, nah, that's all fair in my book. So, all that, a ball up. Karras and King to go again. One out by Karras. Kendall was trying to get on the end of it. Her teammate did, and there was a awkward little kick out of there by Fitzsimon. Going in there was Neve McAvoy. Got turned over by Neil. Here comes Humphreys. Humphreys' kick is immediately smothered by Emin. Pressure's put on her. And the ball is seen over the boundary line and out of bounds. No lasso rule, so it will be a ball in. Half-forward flank here for Collingwood. They lead by 22 points. Here in the final quarter, WARFradio.com. Coming up after this match on our WARFradio.com stream. Now, interview with Emma Grant. That'll take us up to 1 o'clock to the pre-game with the Western Bulldogs and Geelong from Whitten Oval. Beautiful kick inside 50. Now, the umpire has blown ball up. I thought maybe a mark.
Might have been two players marking at the same time. That's usually when that happens, a ball up.
Yeah, very rare occasion. Is
very rare.
Goes in there and always plays the player in front. They must have been exactly side by side. Now going across is Emmond. Stratton was trying to find her way through. Goes to ground, wants to have another crack at it. Stratton is still fighting in hard. Neil jumps in there for support. Oh, there's a leg. That's a trip clearly. And the umpire says that's a free kick going the way of the KC Demons to Harris. So the KC Demons ruck has it deep inside their back 50. Gets on the right boot, goes towards the half-back flank on the city side of the ground. It will now be half-forward flank as the by's taken away. Bunker lost control of it, got it back again, spun around, dance floor moves, put into a hot spot 40 metres out from goal. Stratton is going to be first to the football here. Stratton still going. Stratton manages to kind of get a weird little hand pass out. Neil goes in there, coming in there as well as Nicole Hales on the bottom of that. And the umpire says time for a ball up, 25 metres out from the Collingwood goal.
So just over 13 minutes gone here in the final term as the umpire throws the ball up. Oh, there was a holding free kick. It's going to go the way of the Pies. Not sure who has it as yet, but it looks to be the number 56 in Mullen Hill. She's going to have a shot and well and truly wrap this up. So Neil just taking her full 30.
Nicole Hales limping from the ground injured, so another injury there for the KC Demons after Kirkwood left the ground earlier.
So Neil approaches, kicks, it's bending back. Is someone going to get a mark on the line? No, as play continues. The whistle from the ump, it's going to be a ball up. Gee, that almost came within inches of crossing the line. So ball goes up at the top of the square. Can the Collingwood player just get a deft touch on the boot? No, they can't as Casey decides to rebound. Mark almost taken by Emma Horn, but goes out of bounds.
So we'll reset play here. Inside the Collingwood forward 50 when the ball comes back in, will be roughly around 40 metres out from goal. 7-4-46 Collingwood, 3-6-24 the KC Demons. Elton John O'Ven, Katie Lempeski and James Halley will be at VU Whitten Oval at 1 o'clock for the game between the Dogs and the Cats. Join us then, also on the VFLW YouTube stream. Umpire says holding the football, free kick going the way of the Pies, and Jennifer Guy has the football. She has the pill at a 45-degree angle, 50 metres out from goal, gets on the left boot, pulls the kick at the last second, it floats very nicely. And the mark taken 15 metres out, 45-degree angle by Christy Stratton. I keep saying Kirsty for some reason. Christy Stratton. She'll be looking for her 4th goal of the day. Stratton, slight breeze, blood rule. And we wait for, let's see who comes to the ground. It might be Stratton herself who's got blood. So she won't be kicking her 4th goal. She'll have to hand it across to Georgia Ricardo. And the reason why she's got blood, she's been in and under, in and everything all day, Stratton.
Absolutely solid.
Yep,
today.
blood on the knee, as you can see, so she'll have to get that washed and cleaned up. She's coming to the ground filthy, going, what had 4 today? What had 4?
So with 4 minutes to go,
She's saying it as well. She got the ground. I would have had 4.
Oh, damn it. She can't believe it. So 4 minutes to go. Do you reckon she's going to make an appearance back on the field?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Just get
throw
a last
Band-Aid on that. Yeah.
Last gasp effort.
So Georgia Ricardo, as the umpire blows time back on again with Trisha Cowan coming on for Stratton. Ricardo comes in, puts it on the right boot, puts it over the goal umpire's hats. Ricardo says, well, that was an easy goal. Thank you to Stratton. I owe you a drink after the game. 8-4-52, the Collingwood Magpies. 3-6-24, the KC Demons.
Collingwood's just been that good today, and this is time where they can just consolidate and just settle down. What will be, will be.
Dare I say, this is probably the only quarter, really, from, if you take away the scoreboard point of view, the Collingwood have dominated the quarter. As we said, they're one rotation down because Kirkwood's gone off the ground now, Hale's injured. But mind you, at the same time, as we saw that first patches of play for Casey going forward, the KC Demons had to try and open up the game. They had to take the risk because they were the team that was behind. And unfortunately, when you do open up the game, you have the risk that can hurt you back the other way. And that's what happened.
This is no doubt been Collingwood's best quarter. As the ball goes up in the middle, King gets the tap down. Guy almost roves it. This ball goes down to ground. Umpire calls play on. Looking for something or someone to bring the ball out the back, but nothing doing. And it will be a ball up about 70 metres out from the Pies' goal. So another ball up, and Collingwood just keep on coming and coming. Who's got the footy? Was dispossessed, wasn't sure. Play continues. Here is Neil. And nothing doing as Casey regroup.
Buchan.
So here's Buchan, former Pies captain, premiership captain no less. Kicks about 60 metres out from goal. Pies goal. And I think Eventuate's just hovering around the boundary line with the BHP logos. There'll be a ball up here, so umpire asks for nominations, he gets them. It's pretty much been the same all day as is in dispute, goes to ground once again. Plenty of that today. Umpire circles and says, no, I'll have it once again. Gee, if umpires had Supercoach points, they'd be racking them in today, that's for sure. Peter Holden.
So, we'll throw it up in the air on the city side of the ground. King brought it to ground immediately. Humphrey Thomas got a hurry. Pardon me, it wasn't Humphrey Thomas, it was Eliza West that kicked it up the line. Fairchild's looking around. Velado for the Pies. Fights hard for the ball. The umpire says, I'll take it back, please. Race Buchan gives it to the umpire. 8-4-52 Collingwood. 3-6-24 the KC Demons. Punch forward. Fairchild's lurking on the outside. It's almost at the field there for a moment. Purcell going with her. Marlon Neal watches on. Also trying to fight for the ball is Demi Hazlitt. And again, we'll have another stoppage. Looking forward to the game at 1 o'clock today on the 2 p.m. bounce. Western Bulldogs Geelong. We'll hear it live on WARFradio.com. Here's the hurry kick off the carpet by Fitzsimon. Gained about 35 metres. Will be sent backwards again for the Magpies, courtesy of Grant. Whoop, no, turned around the other way. Yeah, now Grant's got it and had to kind of duck and weave. A kick partially smothered. Buchan there on a hammer. Close towards the boundary line. Jennifer Guy there with Fairchild. Guy had to go backwards to go forwards. Now taking the mark to intercept for the KC Demons is Samantha Johnson, their captain. Johnson gets the hurry up as the siren sounds to conclude the match here at Victoria Park. Collingwood, 8-4-52, have defeated the KC Demons 3-6-24. At the end of the day, they were starting to lose players. Injuries started to come into the equation for the KC Demons. They had to take the risk. They had to try and take the game on. And Collingwood managed to just put the foot down and say, nope, this game is over. We'll take the 4 premiership points.
They really are the best team. They're just really the team to beat. They're super impressive. And today is no exception.
Goal kickers at full time. For Collingwood, it was 3 to Stratton, singles to Green, Zander, Bunker, Ricardo and Barnett. For the KC Demons, all 3 were kicked by Imogen Barnett. Imogen Milford, pardon me, saying Barnett. Imogen Milford, get that right.
That's what happens when there are a few images list, I suppose. Yeah, but she was solid, so I guess it's back to the drawing board for Casey once again. It'll be interesting to see what comes out of that. I guess the 2-week break is ever so important for both teams, but Casey will come out of this probably bigger and better in about 2 weeks' time.
And again, for Collingwood fans that are staying with us, a reminder for you that in about 2 minutes' time we'll air our interview with former Collingwood AFLW footballer Emma Grant. It's a good hour-long interview talking about her career. That'll be coming up in 2 minutes' time, and that'll take us through to 1 o'clock for the pre-game of the Western Bulldogs versus Geelong v Whitten Oval. Looks like a final score